And we're going. Yo, 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 what's up? July 4th, United States of America's birthday, baby. Ah, hope everyone had a good one. Hope everyone had a good one. Just checking everything, making sure we're good. Hopefully, my volume is good and we can roll things right along. If it's not going well and you're there, out there, somewhere in the distance, out in the ether, out on the internet somewhere, let me know if things are working, if things are sounding good and clear. Otherwise, you know what? We're going to keep it going. We're going to roll along and talk about a couple of things that's out there right now because yesterday we talked about White House news. Dana White, Donald Trump confirming that there's going to be some kind of UFC event at the White House, right? On the grounds of the White House. Somehow we're getting a White House event before we get a soccer/football stadium event with a 60,000 seater. The over in Europe, Octagon MMA, they're doing stuff every damn month. They're in a big soccer stadium. UFC can't seem to get on that page, but you know what? It is what it is, and we're just going to keep rolling along and roll with the punches. Many people are upset politically, frustrated. They don't like the way the UFC is going, riding so hard into the political sphere. Listen, I mean, you can call it political. Maybe it is political. In my opinion, it's just they're putting on fights. They're doing their thing. Dana White's friends with Donald Trump. Donald Trump happens to be the president. You just got to fucking go with it. At least he's not talking to a fucking dictator of some foreign country, right? Dana White, UFC, if, I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. This isn't the worst thing that's ever happened. It might be annoying, it might be weird, you might not like it, you might not agree with everything going on, but it's not like they're doing some evil shit. It's just stupid. And you know what? Fuck it, whatever. It's a celebration of the 250th anniversary of the United States. Who fucking cares? All right, it is what it is. I'll see it when I believe it. It's one of those things that it's not really out there, as in like it's not official. Nobody's like said like this is happening. Donald Trump said some stuff. Dana White said nothing except for reposting something on Instagram. A big deal. Conor McGregor's coming out. He wants in. Michael Chandler, of course, has been the rumored opponent there. Happens to be an American. Yesterday we were talking about who could the potential fighters be that challenge for a belt in that one. Corey Sandhagen, maybe he miraculously gets the win over Merab Dvalishvili at the end of 2025, and then he jumps in there and he's the defending champion there for the White House. Maybe a Sean Brady challenging for the welterweight strap. Really not a lot of guys out there. There's a couple of guys. We can get into it again, talk about it, see what's going on. And then, of course, Jon fucking Jones. Jon Ducking Jones wants to get back into the cage, says he's getting back into the testing pool. Listen, you can't believe a single word that Jon Jones is saying anymore. It's all trolling. It's all attention seeking. Jon Jones, of course, one of the greatest to ever do it. Many rule him as the GOAT. Definitively, he is the GOAT. I happen to be one of the people that disagrees with that. Great fighter, great all-time fighter. What he has done is really likely to never be repeated again. At such a young age, winning the championship and having this kind of longevity in the sport is insanity. To beat the guys that he has on his resume, crazy. Nobody's going to beat that many legends like Jon Jones. Even Ilia Topuria, who I think is maybe potentially a better fighter, more dangerous fighter than Jon Jones. Somebody like that, and Ilia Topuria, yeah, I said it. Ilia Topuria is ascending to that GOAT status. Ilia Topuria could potentially one up Jon Jones in terms of, damn, that guy looks so good and looks so dominant every single fight. Jon Jones had trouble at times. Think of the Gustafsson fight. Think about the Vitor Belfort armbar, right? Second Daniel Cormier fight wasn't the easiest fight, right? Thiago Santos, that wasn't some crazy finish early in the fight. The Dominic Reyes fight, which many, myself included, think that he lost, right? I mean, if Ilia Topuria knocks out 5 more guys that are absolute legends of the sport, he still probably won't eclipse the total resume in terms of, damn, he knocked out Shogun Hua. Oh, he took out Lyoto Machida. Rampage Jackson, Rashad Evans. You're not going to do that. You're not going to get that kind of guy again. It's not going to happen. Very unlikely. The guys that Conor McGregor went through to ascend to his star status that he currently holds, They're just not like that. His resume is not the same as Jon Jones. I can confidently say that. It's a thing. Jon Jones, his resume is almost almost unlike any other. There really isn't really pause. There really is not a single person out there that has the kind of resume that Jon Jones has. Person to person, legend to legend, it's pretty fucking insane. To beat guys of the old era, his current era, and then the future era. Sounds like I'm glazing Jones. Jones pisses me off every other day, but I got to give him his due credit. He's beat those guys. Fair or not, he did get in the cage and win the fights. Anyway, we'll get some things rolling, prepare some stuff, take a look at what's going on out there in the ether, on the internet. And you know what? We'll just keep this going. Talk a bit, see what's going on out there. But Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler allegedly, again, if this even fucking happens, want to fight at the White House. Of course they do. Michael Chandler, Colby Covington, Sean Strickland. I mean, you got to be fucking kidding me. If this is a fucking pay-per-view they're doing at the White House, embarrassing. But those are Donald Trump's favorite fighters. And you know what? Dana White will likely try to appease that. Again, like him or hate him, kind of a big deal. You got to admit, holding a UFC event on the grounds of the White House is a big fucking deal, okay? If it's Colby, if it's Sean, if it's Michael, and it's only his favorite fighters. Dude, Jorge Masvidal coming out of retirement. Brother, that would be disappointing for me, but you know what? Whatever. It's a spectacle. It's like the Sphere. The Sphere card on paper, for the most part, the Sphere card fucking stunk, okay? It ended up being pretty fun. It was cool. It was a spectacle. It was what it was. And I predict that this is likely how the White House fights. If they happen, will play out this way. We'll have some dumb Conor McGregor non-title pay-per-view going on. July 4th is a Saturday, in fact. July 4th, right? That's only 4 days into the month of July. Likely going to be International Fight Week in and on the White House grounds next year. 2026 International Fight Week. You heard it here, unless they're going to do some back-to-back pay-per-view week, which is very unlikely. And again, they got the new rights deal coming up. Could this be potentially the first, Netflix kind of fight? Free fights on Netflix? I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see what the hell's going on because, my goodness, it is a mess right now. Anyway, somebody out there, let me know in the comments down below what you're thinking about all this mess. I mean, it's getting pretty crazy. I mean, I heard GSP was commenting on this stuff. I mean, it's just getting absolutely insane. Fox News is writing about this. I mean, everybody out there is wanting to get a hands on this story because it's pretty fucking huge. I mean, how are you going to hold a baseball event on the grounds of the White House? How are you going to hold a football game out there? Those are the kinds of things that you start to question. Like, this is one of the only sports that they could really throw in the White House, within that fence. Everybody that's been on a field trip that's on the East Coast, you know what I'm talking about. There's the fence outside. And they got some yardage in there, but I don't know how they're going to build up some stands and create a good environment with 5, 10, 20, 25,000 people there to watch it. It just seems like the logistics there are absolutely bananas. And, basically seeing and looking out for people that shouldn't be there, vetting everybody that goes in. What kind of credentials are you going to have to get in there? Is this going to be like the Times Square boxing that happened a couple weeks ago? Completely locked out to all fans. Like, you could see people walking around, but there was this big fence and you couldn't even see in. It wasn't even like real people could walk up and go, oh, holy shit, there's a boxing match going on. That's not what this is going to be, unless you got in one of the high rises right next to the White House. Even those aren't that close. You're not going to be able to see that shit. It's going to be outside. How are they going to hold this inside? That's not happening. Or are they going to pull up in the Oval Office? I mean, is Donald Trump that big of a fan? He would want the fights going on in the Oval Office? I mean, power slap up in the Lincoln Room right above him. I mean, this could get really fucking crazy, Anyway. So bizarre. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, lots of people reporting on this one. We'll talk about it in just a second. Stupid fucking ads, go away, brother. Will it be Michael Chandler? That's the next question. That is the question. But we're just going to have to wait and see. Just pulling up a couple of things and we'll talk. Anyway, all right, so let's get it. Let's go. One more thing. There we go. Oh, somebody out there give me something. If not, we're going to steamroll right through this fucking thing. So last night, President Donald Trump announced that they are going to hold fights at the White House on the White House grounds in 2026, July 4th. That's the 250th year anniversary of the birth of the United States. Conor McGregor, Jon Jones, they want in. Dana White has confirmed that something is brewing. And my goodness, we're going to get into it right now. Conor McGregor wants to fight on President Trump's UFC White House event. Dana White says, I love it. I mean, Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler, could that be the potential matchup? Of course, that fight was scheduled to happen not too long ago. Michael Chandler's been waiting for this one for years, and it has yet to happen. Is now the perfect time to put an American star atop the bill of a huge pay-per-view event? Could this be International Fight Week 2026? We're just going to have to wait and see and wait for that news. Or is it going to be Jon Jones? Because Jon Jones has re-entered the testing pool already. It's only been 13 days since he officially retired, and yet he's back in business. At least he says he is. Or is this some drunken tirade that he's been on? Is he trolling? What's going on here? We don't know. It's Jon Jones. He's always hiding from the public eye in some sense, but then in the other sense, he wants to be at the forefront of everybody's attention. So Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall, could that be the fight? Could he finally accept it if it's going to be at the White House in front of his best friend, Donald Trump? Of course, I'm just kidding there, but my goodness. I mean, here it is. Again, we'll play it. Listen to Donald Trump himself, the president of the United States, saying they're going to hold fights at the White House. What the hell is going on here? Like him or hate him, this is huge fucking news.
We're going to have a UFC fight. We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this, on the grounds of the White House. We have a lot of land there. We're going to build a little, we're not, Dana's going to do it. Dana's great, one of a kind. We're going to have a UFC fight, championship fight, full fight, like 20, 25,000 people. And we're going to do that as part of 250 also. We're going to have some incredible, I even think we're going to have.
That is massive news. Donald Trump announces there's going to be a UFC fight on the lawn somewhere on the White House grounds. I mean, what in the world is going on? Let's take a look into what exactly is going on. Conor McGregor wants to return to the White House card. The idea of the UFC having fights at the White House could be enough to finally lure Conor McGregor back out of competition. It's been a very, very long time, since 2021 when he broke his ankle against Dustin Poirier in the trilogy of that rivalry. Former two-division UFC title holder McGregor hasn't fought in a sanctioned bout since he broke that leg, like I just mentioned. Dustin Poirier in 2021. He was on the verge of a comeback in June of 2024, but withdrew from a scheduled contest against Michael Chandler at UFC International Fight Week 2024 due to a foot injury. Although McGregor's social media presence these days has consisted of fight requests, callouts, and hypotheticals, his interest was clearly peaked Friday in the aftermath of U.S. President Donald Trump announcing the intentions to host a UFC event at the White House in July of 2026 as part of a celebration, again, of the 250th year anniversary. Details about the event are scarce, right? We're wondering what the hell is going on. But McGregor displayed some excitement about the possibility of being on the card over social media, even sharing screenshots of a private conversation with the UFC CEO, Dana White himself, where he seemingly made the pitch to be part of the event. Happy 4th of July, UFC, or to the USA, excuse me. Excited that with President Trump announcing a UFC fight night at the White House, I would be honored. Count me in. Conor McGregor seen here posing with Donald Trump a few months ago. I mean, what in the world is going on here? He loves it. Dana White loves it. He wants to do it. This would be absolutely massive. Then he posts this AI image of him and Michael Chandler once again facing off. The only place where disputes truly get settled, the White House. Wow. I mean, huge news. And then Jon Jones wants to get on the action as well. He's re-entered the drug testing pool ahead of the proposed UFC White House event. I mean, this is huge news if this is true, but of course, take this with a grain of salt. Jon Jones always wants to stay in the limelight. Okay, this guy can't take it when we don't talk about him every single minute of every single day. Okay, so I'm just feeding the fire here, John. This is all for you, buddy. Fuck off, man. Jon Jones is thinking about fighting again with a big opportunity looming following Trump's announcement. The White House, the fights, Conor McGregor involved, expressing interest. Now Jones, who's 37 years old, is teasing a comeback after announcing his retirement in June. The former heavyweight and light heavyweight champion commented on social media, writing, "Fighting out the White House. Whoa, big eyes. Wow, I'm into that, man. I'm going to come out of retirement just for that." Or, like many have suspected online, which we'll get into, is this just some kind of I'm in trouble with the law and now I need something to get me out of it to, draw some attention away from me breaking the law, hit and run incident? I mean, what the hell's going on here, brother? Yeah, John. Just entered the testing pool. This is coming from him from Twitter. That lasted about 2 weeks. Figured we'd keep everybody's options open. I mean, wow, John, I'm really, really intrigued by this. John announced his retirement on June 21st. It's now July 4th, following a period of limited activity that saw him add the UFC heavyweight title to his collection, but competed just twice since 2020. 5 years, 2 fights. Wow. Very impressive, brother. During that stretch, Jones was frequently criticized for not fighting Tom Aspinall, the interim champ who made it clear he wanted to face Jon Jones in a unification bout. Aspinall was immediately promoted to undisputed champion status in Jones's absence in the middle of the night in Baku, Azerbaijan. Some of you may be wondering, where the hell is Baku, Azerbaijan? Yeah, it's out in the Middle East somewhere. No disrespect to them or Dana White. Why is he making these decisions? Those people shouldn't get any shit for this, for being in the middle of nowhere, but they are in the middle of nowhere, and Dana White is making the huge announcement that Tom Aspinall has been upgraded to the heavyweight champion. What the fuck's going on here? Trump would undoubtedly love to have Jones as part of the event. The president was in attendance at Jones' most recent fight at UFC 309 in New York, where Jones successfully defended his title against Stipe Miocic. Jones celebrated by imitating one of Trump's famous dances. The president cage side, of course, for that one. What the heck's going on, man? Let's take a look at what's going on out there. What the people are saying, what the people are commenting. Shout out Happy Punch for putting this graphic together. Good one, fun one. Bro is fighting him at the White House. No way, bro. As he said, he's going to wait until Tom loses it, as he is, and then he's going to fight at the White House. Go cry about it. I guess Dana literally had to ask Trump to get Jones to fight Aspinall. I cannot believe it. This actually could work. Let Tom defend twice, or if he loses somewhere, it gives time for a rematch or new champ to defend once. Then John can challenge for the title. Do you think Jones would fight Aspinall if it happened at the White House? Got a poll there going. Let's see. Check the results. 45% to 37% on that one. Jones doesn't deserve to fight anywhere near the White House. This is the main event. And Conor McGregor as a co-main event. No, Conor McGregor will never be the co-main event to anyone. Unfortunately, he can watch it from jail. Jeez. Conor McGregor, Habib too feels more fitting. Dude, that would be pretty fucking huge. They're not going to do that. Trump does like Habib, though. That is his favorite fighter. He said it himself. Let's take a look at the comments of this one. Conor versus Cerrone 2 is so due here. We need Jake Paul versus Freddie Little. Only fight that should go down on the front lawn. If this guy pulls out of the presidential UFC event, he's fucking cooked. The first of 3 co-mains, so we aren't screwed when he pulls out again. Or we're going to have 4 title fights in Conor McGregor on this one. Every single one of Donald Trump's favorite fighters is going to be on here. Again, like I said, is Jorge Masvidal coming out of retirement? We'll just have to wait and see there. If it costs less taxpayer money than Trump going to the actual UFC events, why not? It's like we can stoop any lower at this point. I mean, again, like him or hate him, I mean, this is fucking big stuff, dude. Agree or disagree with the American politics right now, this shit is fucking nuts, insane, huge news. Is it really going to happen? That's the question. I mean, it's just fucking crazy what's going on right now. Anyway, we'll let you guys take a look, take a gander at that one. Or is it going to be the Jones Aspinall? That's what I'm curious about. Which fight is it going to be? Is it going to be one of those two? Or again, is it going to be a potential Corey Sandhagen title shot? Is it going to be a Sean Brady title shot? I mean, we can look back at the rankings, pull those back up. I mean, dude, what the heck's going on here? Is this really happening? I mean, is this really something that we want to get into? Again, you can kind of skim through the rankings here. That's pound for pound on your left. We'll slide it over. Pantoja Marab, neither of those are Americans. Joshua Van, Sean O'Malley. I mean, are they really going to try to throw Sean O'Malley back in there to get an American on this card competing in a title bout? I mean, what the heck? Brandon Moreno's not. Brandon Royval is, but I mean, is he going to make it back? I don't know. Can he beat Brandon Moreno again? Can he beat Pantoja again? I don't know. Albazi, Kai Kara France, Tyra. Nope. Cap. Alex Perez, technically, yeah, but are they going to do that? I mean, you got to go all the way down to Tim Elliott to get like a legit American-bred, American-born fighter there in flyweight. Sean O'Malley's the only guy right now above Corey Sandhagen in the rankings, technically speaking, but we know Corey's getting the next title shot. Of course, Song Yadong's out there. Figgy, not happening. Song Yadong, not happening. Cheeto, nope. Bautista, technically speaking, yes, he's an American. Will he be getting a title shot by 2026 if he keeps putting on these snooze fests? I don't know, bud. He's real good, but he's putting on some snoozers. I mean, he beat the piss out of Patchy Mix. That was pretty surprising, but not in emphatic fashion. Like, you look at that fight and you go, all right, Mario, looking good, buddy. Piecing him up. First round went really well. Second round went well. All right, third round. Time to turn it up and put it on Patchy Mix and put him away. And instead, he kind of let Patchy Mix get off a couple of shots and come back at the end of that third round. That was a little disappointing to see because I like Patchy Mix. I wanted him to win, but then to see Mario Bautista actually put it on him, do some damage, get some shit done, get some shit moving. Good for him. But then how do you not finish that fight? How do you look that dominant and then not finish the fight and let him crawl back in the last few minutes of that fight? A lot like that Ian Gary performance with Carlos Prates. Ian Gary, not one of the fan-friendly fight styles out there. I mean, very, very boring style, but he is dominant. He is very good. You cannot discredit that. You cannot discount that. But then he let Carlos Prates almost put him away in that fifth round. I mean, you cannot let that happen. That is why you cannot point fight in MMA. That is why the fans will never get behind you like they do a Carlos Prates, like they do against Sean O'Malley. I mean, Sean O'Malley is an overinflated star. That's a whole other conversation that I've seen going on there again. Listen, there's overinflated stars, but Sean O'Malley is a fun fight style. Somebody like an Israel Adesanya, once he got the title, before he got the belt, dude was fun as hell to watch. I mean, Derek Brunson, Brad Tavares, Kelvin Gastelum was his title shot. Those are exciting fights. Rob Wilkinson out there as well. I mean, these guys are fun to watch, and they're good fighters, and Izzy beat the fucking brakes off those motherfuckers. That was impressive, right? But then once he got the belt, knocked out Robert Whittaker, won that Gastelum fight, which is just an all-time classic fight. Everything after that really wasn't great. Oh, I mean, just pathetic performances that everybody lauded, like, oh, look at how good he is. Yes, physically, he was almost untouched in all those fights. Yes, he was dominant. Yes, he outstruck those guys. Yes, he outpointed them. But God damn it, that is not what I want to see from a dominant champion. I don't want to see you pick apart guys. I know that you can do that. Put them away. You put away Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker is one of the best middleweights to ever do it. Put away some other guys. Get this shit done. Don't be going to decisions against Vettori, playing around with him. Don't be going to pitter-pat decisions against Jared Cannonier. Unimpressive fights there. That's disappointing. Israel was fun on the come-up. and he's left a bitter taste in my mouth since then. Knockout over Pereira was pretty good. But then if you want to start picking guys apart, I know there's all kinds of debates where everybody's going to try to say this and say that. You could also argue Alex Pereira was depleted, cut too much weight. That's why he got knocked out so easily. Took a couple shots in their first fight as well. Was that a factor? Is that a factor? I'd like to see them both fight at 205. That would be interesting. Then we can kind of see, was the weight cut affecting Alex in those fights? Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, still got the win. Still a crazy knockout. Was fucking awesome. The bow and arrows, all that shit. That was fucking exciting. Okay. The Dricus Duplessis fight was back and forth. That was a fun one with Izzy and Dricus. That was good. I got to give him credit there. Can't disrespect him. Can't discredit him too much there. Anyway, back to this fucking UFC White House deal. Who's it going to be? We got featherweights. Volk, not American. Max Holloway, not in the division anymore. Movsar, no. Diego, no. Yair, no. Arnold Allen, no. Brian Ortega's not going to get there anytime soon. Lerone Murphy, nope. Aljamain Sterling, maybe. Maybe Aljamain can go on some crazy run right now. Very unlikely. Then Danny Calvin is over the hill. Not happening. Not happening. Who the hell is going to realistically could potentially headline this White House event? Again, we're talking Conor McGregor, Jon Jones. It's probably going to be something like that. Jon Jones will fight Curtis Blades or Derek Lewis. I mean, what the fuck is going on? Lightweight. Islam's not there anymore. Ilya isn't. Charles isn't. Arman isn't. Justin. Please, God. Please, no. Again, I'll say it again, and I keep saying it. It was the rumored fight. It wasn't what was going on. It wasn't the real fight. It was not a real fight. It was not signed. Nothing's happening. It's been confirmed. It's been debunked. Dricus Duplessis was in some kind of video. He was in some kind of car dealership. Had some offhand comment about how Patty and Justin Gaethje are going to be the co-main event of UFC 319. It's not happening. But I got to be honest with you. If these guys want to cement their spot and claim that number one contender spot at lightweight, it should be Justin and Patty at UFC 319. That shit ain't happening. But if they want to step up and prove that they're the number one contender, Justin's talking about retirement if he doesn't get the shot. That's fucking stupid, fucking bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody wants that bullshit in here. Is that Ali talking for him? I don't know. Patty's talking all kinds of mess. I was going to knock out Ilya in the first fucking round in the first 10 seconds. That shit ain't happening either, buddy. Sorry to tell you. And Arman, of course, missed weight, injury, whatever it was at UFC 311. Dude's fucking this shit up. Got that win over Charles. He, to me, is the guy who should be getting the shot. Just let him fight Ilya and move on. Make those other two fight. Patty, of course, got in the octagon. What the hell's going on here, man? Anyway, that should happen. It should be Justin and Patty. Patty's down at 10. Got bumped down 2 fucking spots. Whew. Ay. Beating up an old Chandler and old Bobby Green. Tony Ferguson. Like, how highly we're rating these wins. I don't think they're too bad. But I'd like to see him fight somebody a little younger, somebody a little bit more on top of the game here. Justin, getting older. Arman, that would be an interesting fight with Patty, but I just don't know if it's going to happen. But anyway, who the hell is going to headline this White House event? That is the question right now for us to be trying to figure out, just having fun with it. But really, honestly, again, is this fight even going to fucking happen? You know, how realistic is it? They can't get fights in soccer arenas, in football stadiums. That's too hard for Dana White. That's too much to comprehend. But you're going to set up 5, 10, 15, 20,000 seats, 20,000 stands on the grounds of the White House. Just seems a little bit too far-fetched for me. A little bit too unbelievable. I mean, what are we looking for here exactly? What kind of event are you going to put on? Because it's not going to be too impressive if it's just 10 or 20 fans, you know, people with high credentials, right? High-ranking officials in the White House. If it's just them standing around, I'm not sure how interesting that's going to look to the fans. I'm not sure how that's going to play on TV if there's no environment. The UFC Apex environment fucking stinks, and yet it's still going to be better if it, compared to some kind of boxing event they held in Times Square a couple weeks ago, right? Had some chain link fences with some posters hanging up on them, and no real people could even see that shit over the fence. People were watching it, of course, from the high rises next to them, but that was it. There wasn't anybody close. There were a couple people standing around. The environment was fucking stupid. What was the point in doing that? Is that what this is going to be? Is it just going to be a disaster, a mess? What exactly are we expecting from this? It's exciting news. Again, I say it 1,000 times, like whether you like or dislike Donald Trump, whether you agree with the policies or not, like fights at the White House, that's a pretty big fucking deal. Like it's a pretty big deal when a fighter from an organization who was completely maligned by the government, not but 10, 15, 20 years ago, right? Now what? Now they're going to have events on the White House grounds? That's pretty fucking crazy. It's one of the only sports that could actually do that. What other sports are you going to hold within the confines of the compound that is the White House? Not many others. Boxing, right? Wrestling, maybe. Johnny Meat. Johnny Meat. Is he coming back? Is he going to be back? Johnny Meat. Ben Davis. Shut up, Ben Davis. Shut the fuck up. Matt Favola. Bro, Matt Favola's been watching some MMA Guru, huh? Gay? What the fuck? Tom Aspinall. Is it going to be Tom Aspinall at the White House? Let me know. Let me know. What do you guys think this is going to be? What the fuck is this going to be, man? Did I scare you, John? You're a fraud. John in the White House only makes sense. No other American champions right now. KSI fandom. All right. Haha. Fuck DC, right? The GOAT is back. Damn. Damn, bro. DC catching strays out here in the fucking streets, brother. UFC 309. Jon Jones willing to vacate heavyweight title for super fights with Jamal Hill. Derek fucking Jamal Hill. Jon Jones. UFC White House. It's going down, baby. It's going down. Jamal Hill, Derek Lewis. Jon Jones. 3-man tournament. Throw Alex Pereira in there. What the fuck? Dude, comment section's insane, bro. What else do we got? Marcus Buchecha, officially a free agent, previously competing in one championship. From what I'm hearing, the UFC has serious interest in signing him. Buchecha is one of the most decorated grapplers in history, and he holds a 5-1 record in MMA with finishes in all those wins. Did he lose to Rugrug or was that Malikin? I don't remember off the top of my head. Very curious to hear if anybody out there knows that one. We're going to have to go back and grab that one. Buchecha record. Marcus Buchecha. Dude, when was the last time he even fought? Was that? Did he fight at the Denver card last year? Oh, he had a grappling match. I do remember that. Let's share this screen, let you guys see as well. Forgot about that. Yep. Antonio Brago, Neto, Amir Ali Akbari. I forgot about that one. Yep. 169. That was November 2024. Okay, so I forgot about that fight. Been more active than I thought. Yep. Lost to Rugrug. Rugrug. Huge upset over Malikin a couple months ago. That was pretty nuts. Oh, that was back in God damn. Dude, time is flying. Dude, he beat Anderson Silva. Get the fuck out of here. Dude. Marcus Buchecha beat Anderson Silva, bro. No way. No way, dude. Hey, brother. I got Anderson Silva on my record. Yeah. Yeah, Anderson Silva. That's what Buchecha's coming into the UFC. Lays it on the table. You know what, guys? You know what, Dana White? I have Anderson Silva. Yeah, Anderson Silva. I got a win over Anderson Silva. Anderson Braddock Silva. Okay. Cool, buddy. Kirill Grashenko. Decent. That was a pretty nice win, I'll admit. That was pretty sick. 2022. Good grief. Time is flying, boys. Time is flying. Let's see what the comments have to say. So you're telling me the UFC wants to sign a Rugrug victim but won't re-sign Mokaev. Yeah, makes complete sense. Dude, the Mokaev disrespect. I mean, at this point, of course, there was trouble with Mokaev, all the trouble that he was causing outside of the ring. People have talked about this on Joe Rogan's podcast. They've talked about this on other podcasts, that Mokaev was just such a troublemaker and just such a hot-headed little mess, okay, to deal with. Hot-headed little kid running around trying to be that, you know what, I'm a real man. You can't disrespect me, right? All that bullshit. That was what Mokaev was doing. He was just being too crazy outside the cage, and that's what led to this. Plus, he's got kind of a, listen, people say it's a boring style, but it's a pretty fucking dominant style as well. Like, they need challengers at flyweight, and Mokaev is one of those guys that they need to re-sign. He did his shit. He went outside the UFC, guys, picked up a couple of wins since then. Let's get him back in there. Why not? Give him the chance. You need more contenders. Get him one more win. One more win. I know the Manel Cop thing was weird. Manel Cop almost fucking beat him up with one fucking toe, basically falling off his foot. Anyway, it's disrespectful to Mokaev. Hate to see it. Mokaev, he deserves to be back in. Let bygones be bygones. Dana White, get over your ego. Let Francis Ngannou back in the UFC. I know he's still under contract with the PFL, but maybe if there's a possibility you can do Tom Aspinall, Francis Ngannou. Let shit go. It's a business. You got to run a business. Let Mokaev back in. You need fresh title challengers for Pantoja. Anyway, Martian MMA, again, responding to the Marcus Buchecha being a free agent, coming out of one championship, potential UFC signee. I wonder why the UFC is all of a sudden actually interested in recruiting established talent from other organizations. There was several year period where maybe we got a 2 or 4 a year, and we've seen an uptick lately. How many people are they signing? It really hasn't been that many outside of the promotion. Now, there's been a lot the last couple of weeks. Of course, we've got a couple of guys coming over from Europe. Those are going to be some big guys. Are they going to make headway? Are they going to make a lot of waves in the UFC? Are they going to become ranked contenders? I'm not so sure. That's going to be the question coming in from other promotions. We've seen, of course, Patchy Mix looked really phenomenal outside the UFC. Came in, didn't look all that impressive. Michael Chandler came in with a bang, but then kind of fell off since then, right? Coming over from Bellator. Patricio Pitbull laid an egg against Yair Rodriguez. That wasn't all that impressive. Aaron Pico, he's younger. He's got a well-rounded game. Could it apply? Could he potentially upset a Movsar Evloev, who's been absolutely tearing through the featherweight division? The disrespect that Evloev's facing has been awful to see. I want to see that guy get a title shot. He's the guy that deserves the title shot. Yair Rodriguez, of course, the rumored opponent for Alexander Volkanovski. But, of course, could that happen? Potentially. But Arnold Allen, there's rumors out there that Arnold Allen could be taking on Yair. We'll just have to wait and see what the hell happens. End of the year, likely for Volk. He's saying that he's going through and struggling with a couple of injuries. He told Ariel the other day. All right, so Buchecha, again, didn't he retire, or is this just BJJ competition? There's also the UFC BJJ. Maybe they want to get Buchecha back involved with that stuff. Maybe they want to have somebody who can kind of cross over between the two, a heavyweight BJJ champion and then a heavyweight UFC contender. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's see. Silver Wolf, shout out Silver Wolf. Always putting out good stuff. Very dedicated fan to the One Championship stuff. Follows that very, very closely. Appreciate him. Buchecha most likely to the UFC. Soldich looks like he scrubbed one from his IG, Instagram, that is. I mean, his contract is huge and probably best to get him off the payroll. Still, I think it might be time for one to reconsider a striking promotion going into next year. Yeah, fuck all the MMA that One Championship has going on. There's no interesting MMA fights. I'm sorry, the women that are fighting over in One Championship, they're solid fighters. They look like they're technically savvy, but they're just not super dangerous. Throw them in the UFC. Might as well just have One Championship sell all of their fighters to the UFC that are fighting in MMA. Fight Oracle, my guy Fight Oracle, always on top of the business side of thing. Soldich was getting about $750,000 per fight. That's crazy. How many times did he fight? 2 or 3? Yikes. Of course, there was Julio Cesar Chavez getting, is he getting deported? Not so sure what's going on here, but that was pretty wild yesterday. Brian Stan news. Let's see what we got going on. Play this one. See if I get copyrighted for playing this one, but whatever. Fuck it. Happy America Day.
man that beats out the cartoons is gonna beat me.
Sean Strickland beating up Izzy. That was the edit going around a couple years ago. Man, Sean Strickland. What the hell's happened to this guy, man? He talks a big game, brother. Listen, I like that he runs his mouth. It's fun. Does some of the stuff that he say come across as just absolutely retarded? Yeah. Okay. It is what it is. It's Sean Strickland. Like, that's what you're gonna get. But it's fun, man. It's really fun when Sean Strickland is talking trash with other guys. That Izzy performance was crazy. Just how big of an underdog he was, taking it on late notice. That was a big deal. That was a big fucking deal, man. That was really exciting to watch. But dude, he is not the killer that he talks himself up to be. And it's starting to get a little old, Sean, when you're not backing up your shit, brother. Starting to get a little old. Of course, Jon Jones again re-entering the testing pool. What testing pool? Aaron Pico and Movsar Evloev look like they're jacked out of their minds, look like their veins are popping like I've never seen them before. Is the UFC just letting all these guys juice? I mean, what are they? Is the testing pool only for guys that they're worried about doing abhorrent damage to people? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, it's not USADA anymore. It's WADA, whatever it is. I can't find anything. Their stuff is pretty much locked down, and I cannot see if he's actually entered the testing pool because all these media outlets are just running with it saying, hell yeah, Jon Jones says that he's re-entered the testing pool. Do journalists exist anymore? I mean, yes, he said it. Full Violence and Happy Punch and all these guys can post about it. That's fine. But like, they're writing articles. There's journalists talking about it, saying things. We don't know if this is even happening. Tom Aspinall's ducking Cyril Gahn. Maverick defender. You think Tom Aspinall's ducking Cyril Gahn? Gahn beats Aspinall. Listen, I think Tom Aspinall, potentially the slower fighter in that matchup. Now, I do think that Cyril Gahn is a faster, more athletic. I think he's got just natural genetic athleticism over Tom Aspinall. But Tom Aspinall, bro, he's a motherfucker, dude. Tom Aspinall is a killer with power in his hands, right? Cyril Gahn, what kind of finishing power have we seen from Cyril Gahn? Not a ton. That's what I'm worried about in that matchup. But Cyril Gahn could potentially be a little bit faster, be a little bit more crafty in the striking, throw some spinning stuff in there. His kicks look a little bit better, in my opinion, than Tom Aspinall. But again, he's more flexible. He's a better athlete. Is he pound for pound stronger than Tom Aspinall? Tom Aspinall's a big dude, and muscles and a physique don't always translate to pure strength. Look at the strongmen that are competing out there. Some of them don't look like they're in the best of shape, but they are fucking massive. Their muscles underlying that fat, right? But they're big dudes that are super strong. Anyway, Gahn beats Aspinall. Maverick defender. Listen, it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's completely possible. Oblique to destroy Tom Aspinall's knee. I see you, brother. Tom Aspinall could be open to that oblique kick, of course. Took that injury with Cyril Gahn, or not Cyril Gahn, with Curtis Blades, mixing the two guys up, C names. Dude, that Curtis Blades fight was pretty fucking wild. Leg lock, taps out Tom Aspinall. Ain't no fucking way that Tom Aspinall's top into a leg lock. Now, he did in the past. Something happened back on the regional scene, but that is what it is. You know what? Everybody's got to start somewhere, and you've got to improve. And that's the difference between boxing and MMA. Again, we talk about this all the fucking time. In boxing, when you get to the top and you're that undefeated fighter, it means so much in those title fights to be the title holder. In MMA, you got to fight through shit. It's such a dangerous game when it comes to men's MMA, right? And getting leg locked out in his early fights. Is that ever going to happen again? He will likely never let that happen to him again. Curtis Blades, of course, that injury, that was kind of a fluke thing. Aspinall's lost a few times and tapped to leg locks, right? It's happened in the past, but Cyril Gahn's got no fucking skill on the ground, right? Cyril Gahn is not doing shit on the ground. Leg locks because he has weak knees. Listen. I don't think it's going to be a leg lock, but it could be that oblique kick. You mentioned the oblique kick. That's out there. Cyril Gahn's got crafty striking, right? He could do it. That's one way to do it. He has the history of injuring his knees, right? I don't doubt that one. Now, I do think that Tom Aspinall probably bulldozes Cyril Gane, takes him down to the ground and submits him, if not TKOs him on the ground, much like a Jon Jones did. Cyril Gane has won 2 fights by leg locks. Who fucking cares, bro? He's beating up bums at heavyweight, brother. It's fucking heavyweight. It's fucking heavyweight. I'm with you with the oblique kicks. That's there for him. He ain't leg locking Tom Aspinall. Not happening. Cyril Gane's never been KO'd. He did pretty well against Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis, one of the most dangerous knockout guys out there. But Tom Aspinall's a different level of athlete than Derek Lewis. He's a bigger, taller guy than Derek Lewis. You think Tom Aspinall beats Ngannou? So let me back this up, Maverick. I appreciate you commenting. Subscribe to the channel, like this, whatever. Help me get this shit going. So you think that Cyril Gane leg locks Aspinall and Aspinall beats Ngannou, but Ngannou beats Cyril Gane? What are we talking about here? Ain't nobody gonna fucking leg lock Tom Aspinall in the UFC right now. Jailton Almeida is the only guy that could fucking do it. There's no other fucking heavyweight that could do it. Buchecha, do you even know who Marcus Buchecha is? That guy's potentially getting signed to the UFC. That's a guy that could do it. MMA Mats, you got some MMA subtraction going on. It's not logical. No, listen, I'm not an MMA math guy. It's not always the same, but there's no way that you really think that Tom Aspinall beats Ngannou, but Cyril Gane then beats Tom Aspinall. That doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyway, I think Tom Aspinall could likely go on like a fucking generational run here, and I think it'd be fun to watch. I think he could run through a lot of guys at heavyweight. There just are no real contenders. I think Cyril Gane and Jailton Almeida are his 2 most dangerous tests right now. Of course, there's Volkov looming in a rematch. Volkov's been improving. Styles make fights, brother. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We've seen it happen. And not just Styles either, but sometimes the ability to just bite down on a mouthpiece and be a fucking dog, okay? We've seen these fights happen. Styles make fights. I go back to, I brought this up yesterday. Well, Dominic Reyes beat Jon Jones, then lost to easier fighters. Right, but it was, and he has said this, and I think it's true. He said that fight broke him mentally. He thought that he beat the best fight in the world. Imagine going in there against Jon fucking Jones, right? And now, I'm not always been the biggest fan of Jon Jones, but you got to respect what he's done up to this point. Imagine going in there against the greatest of all time and beating him. And beating Jon Jones. And then they take that away from you. What does that do to you as a fighter? You come in there, you're confident, but it's this false confidence. You won, but the judges, the only people in the room that mattered, didn't think you won the fight, right? What does that do to you? How does that fuck with you? That's terrible for Dominic Reyes going into his next fights. He basically thinks that either he's fucked up in some major way. One, that's the one option. But I think the real and the true option is that I'm the best in the world. There's no way I lose to Jan Blachowicz. There is no possible way that I lose to Jan Blachowicz. He goes in there and gets the shit kicked out of him by Jan Blachowicz. And you just start spiraling after that, right? Ultimately suffering that Ryan Spann knockout. Brutal by Dominic Reyes. The resurgence that he has been on is fucking fantastic, right? Always rooting for Dominic Reyes. I don't know. Was Jon Jones a more difficult fight than a Jan Blachowicz, a Yuri Prohaska at that stage in his career? I don't know. I mean, he went to the decisions with Anthony Smith and Thiago Santos. I mean, those are guys that you would think that Jon Jones should have finished if he's as good as he was. Was Aspinall in the TV show Saved by the Bell as Screech? That's fucking great. That's good, dude. That's funny. For anybody that doesn't know. Oh my god, dude. Wow. Tommy Aspinall. Dustin Diamond saved by the belt chin. Brother, where are you getting this shit from? That's fucking wild, dude. That's that hyper masculine chin, bro. That's awesome. That's funny, though. Yep. Dustin Poirier. Does he have it too? Does he have it too? That's funny, though. Ngannou beat Tyson Fury in boxing. Arguably, but was Tyson taking that fight seriously? That's the question. I was pretty damn impressed by Ngannou in that one. I cannot lie to you. I was not expecting that shit at all. Well done to Francis for like actually getting in there and fucking showing up. Fury should have been deducted a point for the illegal elbow. I don't remember that, and I don't remember which round it was. Of course, I was streaming that one completely legally. Obviously, I purchased the pay-per-view for the full price. Yep. Not taking the fight seriously for all 10 rounds. No. I mean in the lead up, in the build up. I'm not discounting Francis. I think Tyson Fury at this point in this stage, he is not what he once was, okay? And for Francis to go in there, even though Tyson is not what he once was, that was still pretty fucking impressive. It's just unfortunate that he goes in there against AJ and gets knocked the fuck out, put out on the canvas. That's what I mean. Like, was Tyson taking the fight seriously in the lead up? Was he in shape? I don't know. That's the question there. I mean, it was fucking hella impressive. It's like the Leon knockout over Kamaru. Like, huge moment, huge spectacle moment for Francis and Leon. But like after that, what do you have to show for yourself? Not a lot. That was pretty fucking impressive. Dude, for Francis to go in there and do that, I was not expecting it at all. He was sick before the AJ fight. Is that confirmed? If that's confirmed, fine, sure, have it your way. But he still got fucking flatlined. It is like, again, you can have these debates, wins, losses. It is what it is. Shit happens. You get sick. Tyson didn't take the fight seriously. Maybe that's why the fight was so close. Dubois canceled the fight last minute due to a mysterious illness. Which fight was this? I don't keep up with boxing the same as MMA. What fight was this? Is this recent? Was he supposed to? Was that the on the card with Shakur recently? Ngannou couldn't cancel the fight because he needed the money. What does he need the money for, bro? He got fucking paid a boatload in the Tyson Fury fight. He's getting a fucking 2-ton truck backed up to his fucking back door from the PFL. He's making like $15 million in the fucking PFL, bro. How much did he get for the Fury fight? What do you mean he needed the money? What for? Yeah, exactly. No one fucking cares. Dubois versus Joseph Parker. Dubois, Joseph Parker. Yeah, I mean, what does this have to do with anything, bro? Ngannou impressed us, okay? I didn't think Ngannou was going to do shit against Tyson Fury. I thought it was going to be kind of just a one-sided fight. Tyson Fury maybe didn't take the fight seriously. AI bot. Yo, Mackenzie Hill, you talking to me? Or are you talking to fucking Maverick Defender up here? Talking to me? You talking to me? The chat. Yes, sir. Yes. He's just kind of parroting stuff. I appreciate Maverick for getting in here and having a conversation. I will give him his due credit. But gives me something to talk about, right? Give me something to chat about. Anyway, what else we got going on? Boxing is not my wheelhouse, brother. If you want to provide some insight, I'm all for it. I was impressed by Ngannou. I watched the big fights. But Mackenzie Hill, shout out to you. Have a good day. We'll see you around. Valentina versus Whaley. Who wins? That's fun if it happens. That's the rumor, right? That's the rumor that Whaley's potentially moving up. Now, does Valentina still have the speed? Does she still have the strength? She's getting up there in age. How old is Valentina Shevchenko right now? Chris Cyborg, Kayla Harrison, who wins? Maybe I'm crazy, but I want to see Chris Cyborg back in the MMA, fighting MMA again. I want to see her fight one more time in MMA. But like, thank you, Mackenzie. Shout out, bro. I don't know, man. We're moving a little quick here. I think that Whaley could win this fight purely because of just. Thank you. Val's 37 years old. Gun to my head, I think Whaley could do it. I think she's special. I think she's got the athleticism. Yep. March 7th, 88, 37 years old. When is that fight going to happen? End of the year, potentially. I don't know. What do you think, man? You think Val can do it? I think that Whaley could move up and do it. I think Valentina is slowing down. You look at what she did in her early title run, right? Submission, KO, 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 submission, right? But now kind of tapering off. She's still probably the best in the world at 125. This is my opinion. She's probably likely the best in the world at 125. That is Valentina Shevchenko, of course. But I think she's getting older. She's slowing down. She can't quite dominate the girls that she in the fashion that she needs to get these wins, to get these finishes. But I think that she can still potentially get the win over Whaley. However, I do think that Whaley has that athleticism advantage. She's got the power advantage at this stage in her career. Whaley, a younger fighter at this one coming into it. I mean, I don't know. Has Whaley really proven that she's well-rounded? I think so. I think she's proven that she can get up there. Does she have the size to get in there with Shevchenko? That's the question. I think that Whaley can get it done. I think she's improving since those losses to Rose. I think she's more dangerous at this stage in the game. She's 35. I mean, she's up there as well. Damn, she's 35 years old. We'll get to your next one. Chris Cyborg, Kayla Harrison. Call me crazy. Chris Cyborg and Amanda Nunes both could beat Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison's no spring chicken. She lost to Larissa Pacheco a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. That wasn't a good look. But it's women's MMA. I want to see fun fights in women's MMA, but I don't really give a shit either at the same time. Like Chris Cyborg, Kayla Harrison, you might as well re-sign Chris Cyborg. If she's not going to fight in the PFL, re-sign her, get another challenger for Kayla Harrison. The GOAT of women's MMA, have her beat Amanda potentially, and then have her fight Cyborg, and then have them all right off in the sunset. Sorry about that. Yeah, Val's 37. That training, wear and tear on the body, I think so. Ilia Topuria is a bit overrated. How so? I'm curious. How the fuck is Ilia Topuria overrated? If he went in there and just knocked out Charles Oliveira with one punch, I would be less impressed than what he did to Charles. I would be less impressed if he went in there and one punch KO him. One punch knockout over Charles Oliveira than what he did. Charles went for the takedown. Ilia reversed, switched his hips, got down on the ground, got those knees flat to the ground, had Charles on his back, stepped into side control, stepped into a crucifix, and then just stood up. And then he knocked him out. And he took a little bit of damage with that elbow. That's way more impressive than if he just knocked him the fuck out. Overrated. What's overrated about him? Who has the hardest punch in MMA history, pound for pound? People are going to say Poetan now. It's not Poetan. People are going to say Josh Emmett, but like, what has he done recently? Oh, yes, John Dodson. That's yes, sir. Yes, sir. John Dodson. If anybody's watching, Maverick, you're on that shit. You know what you're talking about. John Dodson. You might look at this guy's record and say, like, oh, who the hell did he beat? Who are these guys? No-name guys over in fucking Ryzen, wherever. For a flyweight, knockout, 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 knockout. Dude, John Dodson's up there, brother. Roy Nelson, Mark Hunt. You think Roy Nelson or Mark Hunt? That's legit. DC only fought in heavyweight. Would he be the GOAT? That's a frustrating conversation to have. Yes, if he stayed in shape. I think if DC stayed in shape, I think the size that he kind of ballooned up to in the third Miocic fight, for example, if he stuck around heavyweight after the Grand Prix, what was that? After Strikeforce, after winning the title there, if he had stayed at heavyweight for his entire UFC run, would he have ballooned up to that size? I think that that's a true possibility. I think he could have ballooned up to that size way sooner than he did, and that likely would have impacted his performances. Would he have gotten the wins? I think he could have beat a lot of guys at heavyweight at that time. It's just, could he have done it in such a dominant fashion if he had kind of ballooned up to that size? He moved for Kane. Right. Fat people can't fight. They can't run. Muscular people gas out. Fat people can fight, bro. You said it yourself. Mark Hunt, Roy Nelson, some of the hardest punchers out there. Dude, Rumble, though, like the knockout over Gustafsson, the knockout over Glover, like those two stick out in my mind as such just, what the fuck just happened? Like, what did I just watch? I don't even know what happened. Conor McGregor gasses. Yeah, he's a fast twitch guy. Guys that are waiting to explode gas out. Somebody like Yoel Romero, like, he can push 5 rounds. Conor McGregor can go 5 rounds, but you have to go and then take a break, go, take a 30-second break, go, take a minute break. You cannot fight like that in an all-action crazy pace, right? Those guys gas out. The fast twitch, right? Quick attacks, right? Explosivity. You pay a price for being explosive. That's why somebody like a Cyril Gane, potentially, and again, we haven't seen Tom Aspinall go past the second round. That's why I think you made a good point, Maverick. Cyril Gane could get the win there. He's not as explosive of an athlete that Tom Aspinall is, right? He's got better potential for going 25 minutes, right? Without kind of taking some slow steps. But we haven't seen Tom Aspinall. Could Tom Aspinall have the gas tank to go 25 minutes? It's possible. I mean, he hasn't been fighting a lot, right? So what has he been doing in the gym? He hadn't been fighting all that much. So maybe he's in there running the miles, putting in the miles, swimming, doing all that cardio work. Maybe he's getting that gas tank built up so that he's ready to just fucking go in there and slap that shit on some motherfuckers and put them away quickly, one after another. He says he wants to fight 4 times a year, bro. Are the UFC going to let him do that? I mean, we've been having one heavyweight fight a year for a very, very long time. I think both Khabib and Jon Jones would have lost fights if they had been suspended or quit early. If they hadn't been suspended or quit early. You think a prime Tony Ferguson beats Khabib as well? That's a thought. Khabib and Jones, they would have lost fights if they hadn't been suspended or quit early. I think somebody, now people, you'll say I'm crazy right now, but like Michael Chandler's style, somebody like an Aaron Pico, a Michael Chandler who's got like fucking heaters in their hands and like good solid wrestling. Those are the kind of guys that could have beaten a Khabib. Somebody like a Tony Ferguson that just brings the chaos, right? Listen, Tony's one of my favorite fighters ever, bro. That Edson Barboza fight, like the Edson fight, the fucking dude, the Anthony Pettis fight, fucking crazy. That shit was wild. Tony Ferguson is just so chaotic. You don't know what the hell was going to happen in those fights. It was just, he just walked these guys down, right? He just fell backwards and some shit happened. He just rolled around on the fucking ground and whoop, there's some kind of leg entanglement. Whoop, there's some kind of a Darce choke popping up out of nowhere. I mean, Tony, man. I mean, it is so sad to see what's happening to this guy right now. Mighty Mouse is a GOAT, but lacks confidence. What are you talking about, dog? DJ always lost to much bigger fighters. Yeah, Dominic Cruz comes to mind, right? Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo beat all the bigger fighters. You mean at flyweight specifically? Joseph Benavidez, for example? Dude, but prime Tony, brother. Kakuno, Castillo, Trujillo, Tebow, Josh Thompson, Barboza, Venata, Dos Anjos, Kevin Lee, Anthony Pettis, Cerrone. Like, that's a fucking hell of a run, bro. Hell of a run. Hell of a run. There's Tony for you. Man, dude. In that Justin fight, bro, that was tough. Tony had his moments, but just like, he just ran into a fucking brick wall. And I think his career up to that point, it was coming. It was coming one way or another. Like, the dude got damaged in pretty much every fight. Like, he was such a chaotic fighter. It was bound to happen. That the wheels just fall off, right? The wheels just came off in an instant for Tony, and he just started floundering. I mean, it was just such a disappointment because the guy was so good. So good. Has there been a fight in the White House before in boxing? I don't know. Maybe there has. Maybe there has. I'm not sure. Let's see. Maybe so. Maybe back in the old 1800s. According to Google AI overview, there has not been any. No boxing at the White House. This is funny. Teddy Roosevelt regularly staged boxing matches in the White House, taking on anyone he could, including professional boxers. He only stopped boxing when his eyesight was permanently damaged by a punch from his military aide. What in the world? Teddy Roosevelt, bro. Is this true? I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Anyway, UFC rankings thoughts. Hold up, brother. We'll get there. Demetrius Johnson, you brought that up. You brought up Demetrius Johnson. Holy shit. Adriano Moraes has a picture on ESPN. Wow. Very impressive. Okay. Demetrius Johnson record for you. Hold up. Dominic Cruz, of course, that was a bigger fight. I mean, he was fighting at bantamweight, right? Brad Pickett. Dude, Brad Pickett, that is a fucking throwback. That dude was born in the 70s. Brad Pickett. Dominic Cruz. Ian McCall, draw. Forgot about that. Henry Cejudo. Adriano Moraes. I mean, Adriano Moraes was huge, and then he beat him twice. So he didn't always lose to the bigger guy. That's a great example because that dude's fucking huge. UFC rankings thoughts. Let's pull them up. Let's pull up the rankings, brother. Should we go through each division? We want to go that deep on it? Only one USA UFC champion right now. Who? Kayla? Women's MMA? I don't even have featherweight anymore, bro. Let me tell you this. Now, I'm an American, proud to be an American. Land of the free, home of the brave, all that mess. But I will find you this image. It's just a picture of all the UFC champions right now. And it's probably, is this, I'll ask you, Kayla does look like Triple H from WWE, let's be honest here. Have you seen Brock Lesnar's daughter? Dude, she's fucking monstrous. She's a fucking animal. She's fucking huge. And she's fucking awesome. Brock Lesnar's daughter is literally reincarnation of Brock Lesnar himself in female form. Like, it's unfair. The genetics are absolutely insane and unfair. She's basically a fucking giant dude, right? Get her in MMA right now. Kayla looks like Triple H. Yep, saw that one already. This could potentially be the most exciting time for all these UFC champions, the male champions. This could be the most exciting lineup that we have ever seen, barring Magomed Ankalaev, of course. Great fighter, but he's not exciting to watch. He's got a couple of knockouts on his resume. I get it. Kenny Okoye is going to come after me for that one, but he's just not exciting. Volk at this stage, still putting on fun fights. Is he finishing everybody? No, he's not, but he's still exciting to watch. Pantoja, running through dudes, absolute killer. Merab, literally running through dudes. Volk, having absolutely fantastic fight with Diego Lopez. What's next for him? Is it going to be Movsar? Is it going to be Ayer? Is it going to be Aaron Pico? We don't know. It's going to be fun no matter what. Always goes in there to hurt motherfuckers. Volk's walked up. I don't know. I think so. I'm a little worried about Volk. I do think he's a little bit washed up, but he's still so good. And this was my point earlier with Valentina Shevchenko. I think she's washed up. If we want to go that far, I think that's a harsh term. I think she's a little bit over the hill. We'll put it that way. I wouldn't say washed up yet, but she's still the best flyweight in the world. So she was hurting everybody, finishing everybody, right? You want to say that a couple of years ago? She's kind of peaked. She's coming over the hill a little bit, but she's still better than all of them. So she's not going to be able to get those finishes. Same with Volk. He was really putting it on, guys. Took those losses. I think he's still that best guy now that Max, now that Ilya have definitely moved on from featherweight. He's still the best featherweight out there, but he's a little bit over the hill, right? He's a little bit slower. His chin has definitely been checked. It's been damaged. Volk, still the best guy at featherweight, but he's over the hill, and he's a little bit, you might want to say, washed up, if that's true. Let's see what else is going on. We already saw that one. True about Val. I think so. I think she's easily the best 125-pounder. She's just getting older. She's a little bit slower. The athleticism isn't quite there anymore. And so it's kind of like Glover. Like, the dude was so good back in the day, right? Lost to Jon Jones, came into the UFC. He was past his prime when there were better light heavyweights out there, he was losing to them. But then some of these new age light heavyweights who weren't as good came along, and then he ended up actually winning some fights because he's still one of the best light heavyweights in the world. He's just older. He's just barely making it, right? It's a good example of that. Volkanovski fought a guy who fought afraid his last fight. Who, Diego Lopez? You think Diego Lopez was scared? Every attack almost KO'd Volkanovski in the fight. That's what makes it even more impressive to me. He was the one that almost got finished, and he was able to get away with the win here. Right? Diego Lima? No, Diego Lima. No. Diego Lopez, brother. Diego Lopez fought too cautious because DC Cormier. What did DC say to Diego Lopez to get in his head? I don't think DC was I don't think Diego was too bothered by what DC had to say. DC told him to slow down. I think that could have been the downfall for Diego. I think if he blitzed forward, he definitely would have ended up losing the fight if Volk survived. But if he blitzed forward like he did in most of his other fights, look at what he did to Ortega. Basically knocked him out in the first 25 seconds. Or Volk will take him down. Diego damaged him over the course of the fight. You can't say that DC got in his head and told him to slow down. That's why he lost the fight. He almost fucking finished Volk twice. Almost finished him twice. He definitely slowed down because he had to fight a 25-minute fight. Volk is washed up. Stop saying washed up, bro. Say over the hill. Use different vocabulary here. He's not washed up. He's not a fucking bum. He still beats half of the fucking ranked guys at featherweight. Volk is a goat. Love him. Hell yeah, brother. I wouldn't say he's washed up, though. That's what we're doing here. I'm not that smart, but I'm bringing a little bit higher level of vocabulary here. We're going to say over the hill. Somebody that's washed up, fucking Tony Ferguson, bro. Unfortunately. That's one of my favorite fighters. I got to admit it. He's fucking washed up, bro. Israel Adesanya. Is he washed up? He's like on the verge of washed up and over the hill to me. A gust of wind would KO Volk. Now, hey, man, potentially it's out there. Potentially, man. A little flick on the ear. A little blowing on the chin action, bro. Pause. Yoel Romero got old quick. Bro, Yoel Romero been old, brother. When did you start watching MMA, bro? He been old. For like 7 years now. He's been old. No give for Jesus. No give for Jesus. Yoel Romero. I mean, he's been doing good in the dirty boxing. Been doing pretty damn good over in dirty boxing. 40 fucking 8, bro. No. Go. If you believe, go. Legendary interview. Bro is 48 years old and still looks like he's fucking sculpted out of fucking granite. But he did not get old quick, dude. He's been looking old since 2018, after the Whitaker fights. Robert Whitaker, June 2018. Woo. I didn't really think about the fact that he lost 4 fights in a row to basically end his MMA career. Now, he took on Polizzi, whatever. Manhoof, that was fucking stupid. And Nemkov, of course, Nemkov was going to beat him. What do other organizations need to catch up with the UFC? One championship needs to fucking stop having MMA fights. They're done. They're cooked. It's over. No more UFC. No more MMA fights at one championship. Have all those guys come over to the UFC. PFL. There are run by a guy who doesn't care about MMA. The fights just are not interesting, right? They don't have the guys to go. Now, one thing the PFL does have that's an advantage for them is that man for man, their roster is better than what the UFC provides. The UFC has a lot of bottom feeder level talent, and the PFL has more of that middling pack. Some guys that could come over to the UFC and probably just sit right outside the rankings. With guys like Renan Ferreira, super tall, super rangy, like powerful. Francis beat him right in that last fight, but Renan Ferreira could easily be ranked at heavyweight, right? Better matchmaking or better marketing. Hell yeah. Their own tough series. They're already doing that with some kind of challenger series. I don't think so. Copy the UFC step by step. Change their name. PFL should change to MMA. Call themselves MMA. I think the PFL just needs to keep building from the ground up. They need to keep getting fighters. Dude, it's a fucking monopoly. There's nothing they can do. Bellator was a close second because they built it the right way. They had tournaments, they had excitement, they had fun fighters. If Ngannou had the Tyson Fury Mystic Mac prediction, it would have given the PFL a boost. Yeah, viewer wise, but it would have been like a one and done thing. Look at what happened to Triller, right? What was it, the IFL? I don't even fucking remember anymore. It doesn't fucking matter. They're trying to get Jake Paul to fight in the PFL. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody watches that shit. It's the UFC. They have cemented themselves as the number one position. One championship, huge in Asia, population of Asia, crazy. One championship. I mean, they're huge, but they need to stop having MMA fights. There's just no reason to have MMA fights anymore. Their MMA fucking sucks over there. Their Muay Thai shit, 4-ounce gloves, Muay Thai is fucking insane. Anybody not watching Friday morning fights over there, one championship, you're out of your goddamn mind. The best shit you could watch. We'll pull up a fight from earlier. Insane spinning back fist knockout. Yeah, one championship needs to drop their fucking MMA, dude. Get on the fucking train. They need to drop it right now. It's just, they do not have the roster to keep up with the UFC, PFL, anybody. They've got a lesser roster in MMA than like fucking regional promotions. Cage Warriors and fucking Octagon have better fucking MMA rosters than the fucking one championship does. Octagon MMA, they're not going to rival the UFC, but they have their own niche, their own kind of lane. And I appreciate it, and it's good. We don't need to have a UFC rival because, well, you know what? Let's back that up. They need to have a rival, somebody that can kind of stand toe-to-toe with them to promote competition, because competition breeds success. It breeds innovation. We need to have a rival, but the UFC is so far ahead of PFL, just leaps and bounds ahead of them. There's really nothing that can even fucking compare. It's just not happening. It just will not happen. There's nobody anytime soon. The PFL will not be able to catch up. They need to just keep trucking along and keep building, filling out their roster with good fighters. Until then, they ain't putting up shit. Check this out. Holly Holm is boxing against Shewood this weekend. Did she not? She won this past weekend against somebody. Like, that was pretty cool. She's 40. She's pushing 40 if she's not 40 already. Holly Holm, yep, she was a boxing champ before the UFC. That's absolutely true. Then she got in there, knocked Ronda the fuck out because she was an actual talented mixed martial artist, unlike most of the other girls that were fighting that were just good athletes. Shout out Kat Zingano, has actually made quite a career for herself. But take a listen to this. One championship faces crisis across multiple fronts. $90 million loss in 2023. And now something, yep, Holly Holm is 40. Is she 41? She might be 41 now. One championship facing a crisis. Now, you lose money. When you're running a business, a lot of times you're losing money for a couple of years, right? We've been talking about one championship and how they've been losing money for a long time, right? Losing money for a long time. It's always been a problem. Money with one championship, right? 90 million lost in 2023. Over 530 million in total losses since the inception. Been 13, 14 years maybe at this point. Only 24.6 million in net assets left. Qatar Investments Authority embarrassed by involvement. Major Qatari sponsors have pulled out. Champions and veterans publicly warning others don't sign with the UFC. Inactivity, contract disputes, and lack of communication. Of course, Reese McLaren, flyweight fighter. I don't remember if he ever fought DJ. I don't think he ever did, but he definitely has been fighting in one championship in the flyweight division for a while. He's expressing concerns. They let go of Buchecha today. De Ritter is bashing them. I mean, what the hell is going on? Multiple rounds of layoffs, lots of staff being cut in 2024. There's been a couple of guys on Twitter coming out saying that they've been cut in 2025. More recently, executive departures and shrinking workforce. They've moved their entire operations to a different country. Yo, Holly Holm's 43. Shit. That's crazy. That's crazy. Good for Holly Holm winning in boxing, getting some money. Amazon Prime Video and Turner Sports both exiting U.S. expansion stalls. I mean, they had multiple announced fights for the United States. They were supposed to hold an event in Atlanta. Everybody was excited for that one. Huge card, loaded, had like 5 title fights on it. That fell through. That didn't happen. U.S. shows scrapped or postponed. American markets presence nearly wiped out. Chatri Sigiotong's public outbursts and feuds with fighters and promoters, managers, damage reputation. Well, I mean, Dana White has public disputes all the time with fighters. He's very egotistical himself. I mean, that's not, it's all this stuff combined, right? Company burns cash, relies on new investors to stay afloat, long-term viability and serious doubt. It has been for many, many years, but they're still somehow putting on events, right? Like, I just wonder what's really going on, because all this money talk, all this money trouble has been happening for years and years and years. And maybe it's just building to a culmination, building to a climax here, and they're going to shut down very soon. I don't know. Maybe that's a possibility. But they've been struggling with money, or allegedly struggling with money for years. One esports and mobile game launch failed to deliver new revenue. I mean, who the fuck cares about a fucking mobile game that doesn't have anything to do with it? I'm surprised that Brazil hasn't created a huge MMA organization. Yeah, I mean, they've got organizations out there, right? There's regional shows. It's just that the UFC is a global brand now, right? They're completely global. They've taken over pretty much everywhere. They've taken over South America and North America for sure, Central America. That's UFC territory, man. Octagon, Cage Warriors still pretty big over there, but Cage Warriors just feeds right into the UFC. Asia is really the untapped market over there, and I think they started up. USA debt is now 37 trillion. Should we be worried? Should always be worried when we're in debt. Again, doesn't matter who the president is, who you like, who you dislike. We should not be in this much debt. Of course, we have to create debt to get things done, but to this extent, I'd say it's probably quite an issue. Anyway, sometimes companies run on debt. Right, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's what one championship has been doing. And like everybody that's been talking about their money troubles for years, do they not understand how business works? Like I see Josh Thompson and Big John on the Weighing In podcast. I listen to that every once in a while. They're always talking about how one is in trouble. They've been saying this for years and years and years. All the debt comes from wars for us in America. Yeah, maybe so. But I'm talking about this, man. Thoughts on Dana White promoting boxing? Get the fuck out of boxing, Dana. Get the fuck out of boxing. Let somebody else do it. We don't need you to spread this then. We're already having trouble here in the UFC as is. We've got the UFC BJJ thing setting up. That's exciting. But a UFC Muay Thai? You know why they haven't started that? Go watch One Championship, 4-ounce gloves, Muay Thai. That shit would probably take over the UFC. Speaking of Brazil, I see this potential event going down in Brazil. Remove the wars, unnecessary wars, and the USA debt is low, like 10 trillion or less. Yeah, probably, maybe. Who knows? Brazil may not have an organization, but they're getting another fight night. Returning to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, for October 11th fight night event. Wonder who could be headlining that one. Pereira says he's back, and somebody said that it might not be Ankh. Interesting. Why are boxing movies so good, but MMA movies suck? Because MMA is new, and there's not good stories to tell yet, and things haven't been fleshed out yet. It's only been 30 years. Also, Rocky is made up. What other good boxing movies are there out there? The Will Smith one with Ali, that one comes to mind. Hands of Stone. Is Cain Velasquez in jail? I'm not sure if he is or not. I don't know. I don't know for sure. Did he actually go to jail? Cain Velasquez. Or is he still at home? He was sentenced to 5 years, and they're lowering it potentially. Did I hear that correct? Let's see. This is March 2025. Okay, this is after the verdict. Cain Velasquez sentenced to prison for 2022 shooting. Velasquez, who's been out of jail since November of 22 on a house arrest. See, that's what's throwing me off. I wasn't sure if he's actually in jail or not. He was sentenced in Santa Clara County in San Jose, California. Pleaded guilty, no contest. I mean, this was just awful, man. The stuff that came out about his kid and what he was going through, dude, as a father, how can you blame him for reacting that way? Like, holy fuck, dude. I don't even know if that guy has been sentenced yet. I don't know if that guy's actually had any kind of legal punishment yet. I think that guy who did that to his kid is on house arrest. Did Ronda retire too quickly? The MMA game caught up to Ronda, bro. That's all it was. Today's results are bittersweet. We hoped Mr. Velasquez would remain out of jail. However, the facts remain clear. Cain Velasquez is a good man, a devoted father, and a respected member of the community. An attorney for Cain Velasquez said in a statement, what he and his family have endured has been nothing short of a living nightmare, one they did not deserve. Through it all, Cain has showed courage and strength of character. He's taken responsibility for his actions and been held accountable. Now, of course, lots of MMA fighters go on their podcasts and say, hey, this guy is a really good guy, da-da-da-da-da. He was such a good guy. Somebody like a Rumble Johnson, rest in peace, love the guy, great fighter, seemed like a nice human being, but he had his demons. He caused some issues outside the cage. Jon Jones, great fighter, caused some issues outside the cage. Like, they're going to say these guys are really nice and really great, but like, there's shit that goes on behind everybody's doors. Everybody's got skeletons in their fucking closet, but Cain seemed like one of the fucking good guys. And did he fly off the handle? Yes, absolutely. How could you fucking not? Did he also endanger other people? Yeah, he fucking did. But damn, dude. How can you blame the guy for reacting that way as a father? The sentence handed down today reflects the complexity of the situation. Even his team is admitting that. Like, he was in the wrong for, like, shooting a gun out in fucking public on the streets. Like, somebody could have gotten hit. Ricochet, you don't know what's going to happen. That was wrong. But again, like, crazy, bro. Velasquez, 42, publicly took responsibility for his actions, right? From what I can say as far as myself, the way I handled things was not the way to do it, right? We cannot put the law into our own hands. I know what I did, and I know what I did was very dangerous to other people. You know, not just for people involved and innocent, but I understand what I did, and I'm willing to do everything I have to do to pay that back, right? I think Cain, very self-aware here. That is fantastic. That's great. Anyway. Yep. Cain is in jail, serving a 5-year sentence, which is likely to be lowered. Did Ronda Rousey retire too quickly? I already answered that. I don't think so. I think the game caught up. Too young? I mean, yeah, she was pretty young, right? But where's Shopcut? Who fucking knows where Shopcut is? I was on the hype train. I was on the bandwagon. Shopcut. But we got to get you in there, buddy. Got to get you in there. Who's going to be next? Because if it's Islam for the belt and JDM and Islam's happening, right? If that's happening, where's Shavkat? I don't know. One of the more dangerous guys in the division. Ian Gary, Sean Brady, that's being talked about. That's being thrown around. Where does that leave Shavkat? Checking out the rankings. Bilal, Shavkat, could that be it? But I mean, Kamar Usman and Bilal have had that beef going, that podcast, the fight that allegedly went down on the podcast, the whatever Kamar Usman and Henry Cejudo's podcast is called, I forget, Pound for Pound. That's what I want to see. Shavkat, Leon, Shavkat, Michael Morales. Sounds like Leon, Michael Morales got leaked out there. That could be a potential matchup. Could it be Buckley, Shavkat? I mean, what the hell's going on with Shavkat? How bad is his injury? Is that what's keeping him out? What is going on? Laura Senko, fancies him big time. That she does, and I'm sure her husband is probably not very happy with that. Following the win, it was reported that Shavkat competed with a serious knee injury. We don't know if that's the same injury keeping him off UFC 315, but a torn MCL would certainly track time-wise. All right. End of the year comeback for Shavkat. Abu Dhabi against Joaquin Buckley. That'd be a fucking hell of a fight. That'd be a hell of a fight. Buckley, Shavkat next, potentially. Wouldn't mind that one bit. Wouldn't mind that one bit. Bilal Muhammad, Shavkat, they're going to run that back if the Kamaru fight doesn't fall through because Kamaru says, you know what, I want the title shot. I think it'd be interesting. I don't think Kamaru deserves to get a title shot, but the UFC is not a meritocracy. It is prize fighting, and guess what? Former pound-for-pound king Kamaru Usman and former pound-for-pound king Islam Makhachev fighting for the welterweight belt. Welterweight, one of the best welterweights, Kamaru Usman versus new welterweight king Islam Makhachev. If he beats JDM, that's potential. There's potential there. That sells, man. Pound for pound. Former champ. It sells. Colby Covington done. Yeah. He's done at the top. That's somebody, and I think Joaquin Buckley's a fucking killer, but that's somebody that's over the hill, washed up. Colby might be leaning more towards washed up as opposed to just over the hill past his prime. Getting a little dangerous there for Colby. I mean, who the hell does Colby fight next? If it's not Gilbert Burns or Stephen Thompson, he's in fucking trouble, bro. Like, he only wants the big fights. And you know what? The White House fight night, he better fucking retire after that because I don't know who the fuck he's going to fight. He's too big of a name to be fighting lower level opponents. Colby said he was injured during the fight. He took the fight on short notice. So, I mean, it's possible. Would it have even mattered? Would that have even mattered, bro? Come on. I don't know, brother. I don't know. Listen, Colby was fun back in the day. Throwing dudes, dumping them on their heads. He had his time in the spotlight. He made a name for himself, and I'm glad he did. But he is not beating Joaquin Buckley. Obviously, he's not beating Michael Morales at this stage. He's probably not beating Ian Gary. Although that'd be a fun matchup. I'd like to see that one. What are top boxers? Why are top boxers still paid millions more than top MMA fighters? Boxing is a fucking disaster, and nobody wants to watch that shit. They fucking pepper each other up for 12 rounds. There's only one guy, in a way, that I fucking care about watching. That's the only guy that I'll show up to any fucking random fight. Don't care who's watching. I'll be there because he's fucking exciting and he's hungry to get wins. MMA fighters and boxers, anybody who fights for a living, unfortunately, you have to keep them hungry. You have to keep them in a state of hunger for them to thrive and provide you with the best performances possible. Okay? There's a great quote. I forget who it was. Steve Kim was doing some kind of interview. Boxing reporter Steve Kim. You have to keep fighters hungry. You have to keep them desperate for them to perform at the highest ability. Damn, I forgot the quote. Great quote, though. Even Jake Paul is paid more. Yeah, I don't think he deserves to be paid more. How good is Jake Paul? Apparently he's ranked in boxing now. Apparently Jake Paul is now a ranked cruiserweight or whatever. But I don't give a shit about Jake Paul. Don't give a damn. Don't give a shit, bro. It's tough to get out of bed to do road work at 5 a.m. when you're sleeping in silk pajamas. Yep. Marvin Hagler. It's a different quote about the money, but it's a perfect example. Guys that have struggled to make it in the fight game, once they get a glimpse of success, once they get a hint of success, things change. That's why this Ilia Topuria shit's fucking insane, bro. That's why this is crazy, because he's had the success, he's had the money, and he's still hungry and still improving and still putting guys through the canvas. It's crazy what Ilia Topuria is doing. Marvin Hagler, legend of the game, has the mental acuity and has the honesty to say something like that will go down as an all-time great sport quote. It's one of the best quotes in sports because it's so true. Look at how much NFL, NBA, MLB players are getting this. Look at how much money they're getting. Mr. Team was hungry. Rocky wasn't. Rocky 3, baby. Hell yeah. Clubber Lang, bro. But all these professional athletes in America getting so much money, and they're not nearly the level of athlete, the level of performer that guys were back in the day. Michael Jordan, that dude fucking got after it. Was he insane? Yeah, probably was. But fans show up to watch you compete in sporting events. It is entertainment. It is our pastime. And athletes these days are disappointing us at every turn. And if you pay boxers that much money, look at what they're doing. They're avoiding the big fights. There's so many belts here. This guy doesn't want to fight that guy. This guy doesn't want to fight this guy. That blah, 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 blah. Boxing is a fucking disaster. It's a disgrace, and I don't ever fucking care to watch it again. There's one guy I care about in a way, and that's pretty much fucking it. Everybody else, don't give a shit about. Don't give a damn, bro. I don't care. Mayweather stayed hungry? I guess. Or was he just the best defensive fighter of all time? That Pacquiao fight, it's gonna be fireworks. That shit wasn't fireworks. The Conor McGregor fight was better than the Pacquiao fight. I don't know, man. It's different. These MMA fighters, they stay hungry. They have to make money. They have to try hard. They have to work and out in the gym, man, all the time and get better. So they make money. They got to keep these guys hungry. Now, I wish that the base level UFC contract was higher than 10-10 or 12-12. I think that they could get away with paying everyone. Thoughts on pound for pound rankings? Get to it in a second. I think that they could pay all of the UFC fighters double, and that would still keep them hungry enough, but pay those lower level fighters enough to, make it, to not have to be fighting part-time. All right. Pound for pound, brother. Let's get to it. Ilia Topuria, number one. I think he deserves it. I think that Islam Makhachev could arguably be number one as well. However, he does not hold two belts, right? He does not hold two belts. Ilia does not technically hold two belts either, but he is now got a belt. Islam has no belt. Put him second. That's fine for now. They'll probably flip-flop back and forth until they ultimately, hopefully, fight each other, right? So Ilia 1, Islam 2. I'm cool with that. Merab and Dricus du Plessis. Merab is third. Dricus du Plessis is fourth. I'm okay with that. That's fine. I think Merab's resume up to this point, the guys that he beat before the title, Marlon Moraes, Jose Aldo, legitimate contenders, legitimate guys. Fine. Third. And then who he's beaten since winning the belt as well. Peter Yan beat him before getting to the belt. Henry Cejudo before getting to the belt. Sean O'Malley now. Umar. Like Merab, I'm cool with him at third. Dricus, now he's going for all-time middleweight status here. UFC fighters lost money due to the uniforms. Yep, because they didn't have sponsors on their shorts before they could wear their own clothes, right? The sponsored shorts. Islam is a much better fighter than Ilya. I'm fine if you have that opinion. I do think that Ilya does stand a chance, and I think he could potentially beat Islam with what he showed. Stepping over a fully conscious Charles Oliveira into side control and then into a crucifix was pretty impressive. Ilya is the best MMA fighter I've ever seen. I won't hold that against you, man. I don't think that's crazy. I think Ilya Topuria might one-up him, though. I think Merab is a worthy third. I think Dricus should be fifth. Pantoja over him because of Pantoja's complete resume, right? All the guys that he's beaten. Dricus is going on an all-time run at middleweight, though. If he gets a win over Khamzat, the value of wins that he's had, Robert Whittaker, Israel Adesanya, and a dangerous guy like Khamzat, he's right there with Silva, man. He's right there with the spider. Not Anderson Silva the bum, but Anderson Silva the spider, you know. Islam had a slow start like Amanda Nunes did. Yep. Robert Whittaker should retire. He's fighting De Ritter at the end of the month. Volkanovski at 6. I think Tom Aspinall should be, I think it should be Ilya, Islam, Merab, Pantoja, Dricus at 5. Tom Aspinall, 6. Volk, because of what he has done. Magomed right behind him, and then could easily surpass Volk because Volk lost and then got his belt back. And then JDM just got his belt, beat Gilbert Burns in his fight before that. Hasn't done a lot resume-wise up to this point. Whittaker too injured, too soft. Maybe so. Robert Whittaker is now Dominic Cruz 2.0 with injuries. Not crazy there. Gotten a lot of injuries, had a lot of trouble, fallen into a lot of weird kind of injury-related, falling into some of that trouble water there. I don't like what I'm seeing from Whittaker, but come on. It's the teeth issue. Maybe he's got it fixed. Should any in the top 15 be in the top 10? Let's take a look. It was Pantoja. He was like fucking 11th before last weekend. The fucking absolute disrespect. Should anybody be in the top 10? Pereira, I'm fine with being at 10. Pereira, I'm fine with being at 10 because of the work that he's done in 2 different divisions. I mean, it's pound for pound, right? If you took this guy and matched him up with this guy, skill for skill, how do they do, right? Khamzat, I don't think so. I think Alex has a strong claim at that. I mean, he's lost to Izzy and he's lost to Magomed, right? But he was the champ at 85, beat Izzy, and then the champ at 205 for a while. I think that guy still holds a spot at 10. If he loses again, though, then you can start having that conversation. Then it could be a Khamzat. Or Charles lost too many, I think, in my opinion. But yeah. I think Pereira at 10 is fine. I know he's coming off the loss, but whatever. If you want to throw Khamzat in there because he hasn't lost, I'm cool with that. I won't fight you too much on that. So, sure. Pereira or Khamzat should be number 10. With the pound-for-pound logic, then all the smaller weights are the GOATs. I think they're more skilled, bro. I think they're more skilled. But it's more dangerous fighting at light heavyweight or heavyweight because of the punching power, right? The explosivity in some of those guys. If they connect with one shot, you're out, right? No one has ever been as skillful as GJ. I think so. I think he's just not. He just wasn't explosive enough as an athlete, right? He didn't have enough pop in his shots to be like, ooh, that guy is just electric. I need to see that guy fight all the time, right? That was the problem with DJ. Look at what he did in 1. I mean, Adriano Moraes is fucking massive, and DJ beat him with crafty vet status, right? With technique, right? Pure technique wins. You can't always get away with size and talent. Like, you have to be good at fighting. It's not just skill, but it's intellect, right? GSP is one of the smartest fighters to have ever fought. Demetrius Johnson is one of the more intellectual fighters. When he gets in the cage, He is very smart when it comes to fighting. I don't like the way he fights, but Ian Gary is a smart fighter. He keeps the fight where he needs it to be to win fights. Should MMA be an Olympic sport? No, can't do it. How are you going to have a sport that relies on damage? How are you going to have those guys fight multiple times within a 3 or 4 week time span? It's just not happening. What are my top 4 fighters ever? Dude, I don't know. This changes all the time, and I haven't really thought about it. My favorite, see, this is the question. You want to say favorite fighters or best fighters, or what's my Mount Rushmore? Like all-time importance to the sport? How are we judging this? How are we ranking this? Because best fighters is a completely different conversation. MMA fighters used to fight multiple times. Yeah, but how are they going to allow them to fight? I mean, if they do it pride style, right? Boxing is in the Olympics, but it's point fighting, bro. Boxing is fucking point fighting in the Olympics. It just is. Ain't no way they're going to do point fighting MMA. Ain't no fucking way. I don't care if boxing is in the Olympics. It's fucking point fighting. Amateur boxing is fucking boring as shit. God damn it. I hate people. Maverick, no offense to you, bro. It's fucking bullshit when somebody says that because it's point fighting. MMA, like you said, if they just won't sanction the fights. If somebody gets cut over the eye and then they got to bring in some new guy, then it's not really like who's the best. Like, it's just weird. It would be weird. Anyway, who are my top 4 fighters? What's my Mount Rushmore? I like a DJ. And again, this is not the best. This is not the best. These are not the GOATs. I don't have a GOAT, right? Like, I don't have a GOAT. I have to go by division. Who's the best in each division? That's me personally. I can't pick one guy, right? I think Demetrius Johnson, and these again are not maybe the best, but this is just my like Mount Rushmore, right? The most important fighters to me, my favorite / most important, right? DJ is arguably one of my favorites. GSP's up there. I don't know, dude. I got to think about it. I think, honestly, like you said, Volk, he's a little bit over the hill, a little bit washed up. I think Volk, some of the stuff that he did on his run, just mixing the martial arts, reminded me of a GSP, right? And I love to see it when they mix the martial arts and they're dangerous. Volkanovski might be on my Mount Rushmore, man. I don't know. I mean, Jon Jones has issues, but like that's a guy that could be up there as well. Dominic Cruz sticks out as well. That's one of my favorites. My top 4 fighters ever, though. I'd have to look at each division. Fedor's a guy. That comes into effect as well. Middleweight, I just don't think Anderson had the resume. I don't think he was fighting the right caliber of opponents. I think Jon Jones, a lot of his resume, good guys, solid guys. Does Jones picograms story free him from PEDs? Fuck no, dude. Pulsing picograms, that's been fucking debunked. Go watch Joe Rogan and More Plates, More Dates, bro. It's been debunked. It's fucking bullshit. Pulsing picograms is not a thing. And I'm not an expert, but I'm going to default to the fucking expert there. Flojo was accused of PEDs. $100-meter sprinter. Interesting. PEDs are rampant in sports, bro. If you can get away with it, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Chael Sonnen, right? If you're not cheating, you're not trying. It's a fact of life. Life's not fair. All right. Yeah, man, I don't know, dude. You got to give me time to think about my favorite, but nothing was ever found in her system. I mean, accused is different from being proved to have been on PEDs. Jon Jones was proven to be on PEDs on multiple occasions. TJ Dillashaw, yep, he got caught. He took a lot of flack for that. And I'll be honest, I appreciate his honesty. TJ Dillashaw. I mean, dude, that's the fucking thing. Like, when they get caught, how long were they getting away with it before that? How long was Jon Jones on PEDs, bro, before he got caught? How long was TJ on PEDs before he got caught? If you get caught using one time, it's very likely you're going to keep using and had been using prior to that. You just changed up what you were using. Brock Lesnar, of course. Duh. Look at the fucking size of that dude. He's a monster and he's a genetic freak, but you don't just look like that. You don't just look like that. You don't just get that way. Brock's win over Mark Hunt, yep, got overturned using PEDs. Yep, that was overturned. That was a big part of the lawsuit going on there with Mark Hunt. Speaking of one championship, doing some kind of face-off between Noiri and Superbon. Dude, get on their kickboxing, get on their Muay Thai. If you don't watch one championship, Friday morning fights here in the United States, that shit's fucking awesome. Bangers every single week. Awesome shit from one championship. Not their MMA, though. Not their MMA. Anyway. Oh, next fight for Takeru. Johan Ghazali, it's like 18 years old, 17, wants to fight Takeru. Apparently over in one in Muay Thai. Liam Harrison, absolutely outrageous. It is, though. I think Ghazali should back what he said and fight old man Puric. I think he might even lose that fight. Takeru is big time in Japan, needs a big name. Yes, indeed. Do you watch Slap, Power Slap? Fuck no, I don't watch Power Slap. Shit's stupid as fuck. Open palm punching? Listen, do I see it pop up on the old social medias every once in a while? Yeah, of course, that shit goes viral every time. It's a fucking viral sport. That's what it is. But it's fucking stupid, dude. The fuck do I want to watch that shit for? It's funny to watch if you're sitting around drunk with friends, I'm sure, but like, as a sport that I'm supposed to take serious, that has belts and shit and rankings, get the fuck out of here, bro. UFC should be doing Muay Thai, kickboxing, that kind of shit, man. Shit's embarrassing. What the fuck is happening to the UFC, bro? Dana White's spread too fucking thin. And he's not doing his fucking job right. That's funny. Call of Duty. Holy shit. UFC. Woo. What else we got going on? The fleshy section of the palm under the thumb is called the thenar eminence. It's a mound of tissue formed by muscles that control the movements of the thumb. All right. Beakers and test tubes, bro. There's so many different combat sports now. Are you a gamer? Nah, I don't really play games, bro. I used to dabble. But nah, not really a gamer. You play games? What kind of games you play? What kind of games, bro? Me neither. What generation are you in, Maverick? I won't ask your specific. Yeah, Street Fighter 2. I won't ask your specific age, but Mario Kart. Hell yeah, brother. I saw there's a new Mario Kart out though. Might have to check that out one day. What generation are you, man? Curious. I don't want to ask your real age. You like Secret. Before or after 2000, though. That's what I'm curious about that. You seem like you know a lot of like old school MMA stuff as well. Somewhat. At least like mid 2010s. You keep up. I'm impressed. Why is she so popular? You said, dude, fuck this bitch, dude. Fucking hate her ass. I mean, she's doing her thing. Like, her content's like funny sometimes. Like, I see it pop up, but like, dude, fuck her, dude. Industry plant. Probably riding Dana White's ass every day. I won't even say his dick because we know what Jon Jones is doing to Dana White too. Nina drama, bro. UFC promoting lately. Hey, first question guy. What do we got? How does it feel to be a UFC fighter? Shut the fuck up, bro. If aliens came down, would you rather them be blue or baby blue? Power Slap has 50 trillion views in 2 days, guys. Such a joke, bro. It's embarrassing. The fact that they announced that Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion in the middle of the night in Baku, Azerbaijan is a big fucking problem. That should have been the biggest announcement of all time. She's Italian. I don't know what the fuck she is. I think she's Hispanic or something. I don't care. She does her thing. She's got her content. Like, good for her. She's making money, whatever. But she's also paid by the UFC, so she's not actually like working hard to like get interviews. She's not like grinding here in the live chats of YouTube talking to randos. She ain't doing any of that shit. She's not working hard. She gets everything fucking handed to her. She's got fucking tits, bro. Whatever. Good for her. I just don't care. I don't care about it. Like, it's just not my cup of tea, bro. But good for her, man. Like, I'm not gonna disrespect her for like what she does. It just is what it is. It's just annoying to me. Just pisses me off. At least the UFC YouTube channel has been shelling out some solid shit downs recently. Yeah, old replays. That's why it's solid shit. Is she the new Ariel Helwani? Fuck no, dude. Ariel Helwani actually had to work for his shit. Now, I disagree with like half of what Ariel has to say, and I don't appreciate some of the nonsense that he spews. But he had to work hard to get to where he's at, right? He's a real journalist. She ain't no fucking journalist. She's a social media fucking celebrity, promoter, influencer, whatever the fuck she is. Nobody fucking cares about her. No real fans care about this fucking bitch. Stop pissing me off, because listen, if I met her in person, I'd probably ask her a couple questions and be interested to see what, like, how she got to where she was, what she does, on a daily basis. Like, she's just a content farmer who's gets paid by the UFC, and she's hot, but she's also like 36 years old, and it's fucking weird that she tries to play into the, she's 20 years old and she's like 36. It's fucking weird. But no, she's not the new Ariel Helwani. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Thank goodness. Because she doesn't seem like the smartest cookie. Doesn't seem like the smartest person out there. But she's doing her thing, and whatever. Respect to her. She looks young. Yeah, but she's like 35. Rachel or Rochelle? I don't remember what her name was. Yeah. I remember her. Dude, I was too young to like understand at that point what was going on. I do remember her face though. That was just a ring girl though, right? Or did she also do interviews? I don't fucking know. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter. She was fucking hot though. I remember that shit. Did she do interviews on All Access? Anyway, no, Nina Drama's different. She's a social media celebrity. She's like a social media influencer, whatever the fuck you want to call it nowadays. That's Nina. Anyway. The show was called Rochelle Lee Interview UFC All Access. I was too young. If this was like early 2010s, I was too young to like keep up with everything, and social media wasn't a thing. Like I couldn't see everything, and it wasn't me driving the fandom in my household. I wasn't paying for paper. I wasn't the one paying for the pay-per-views. I wasn't the one doing the research, looking at stuff back in 2010, dude. I'm too young. But I got you. I'll have to look it up. It wasn't just interviews, it was an actual TV show. I think I've heard this, but I never saw it. Like that's interesting. I'll have to go back and find some just to check it out. Appreciate you dropping that knowledge in there. I think you'll appreciate this though. Anybody out there? Hamzat beating Dricus' leftovers. Flirting. Robert Whitaker. Ilya beating Islam's leftovers. Been harassment online. Comments are pretty funny here. It's objectively true to say Ilya is beating Islam's leftovers. Kinda. The only common opponent between them is Rob, and they fought like 1 year ago. Yeah. It's still funny though. We can still make fun of that shit. Still have a good time. Anyway, listen, Maverick. I ain't a fucking COVID fanboy. Everybody that can't, dude, all these new fans, no disrespect to the new fans, but y'all need to get off of fucking social media and watch some real fights and go back and rewatch old fights. That's how you learn and develop your knowledge in MMA, not just fucking looking at social media all the time. Fucking me up, man. Hate new fans, bro. Some of the time we got to educate these new fans. Dricus du Plessis fights like a white guy dances. Stumbling and bumbling and fumbling around the octagon. Hell yeah. But guess what? That shit is effective as hell. Here's a Nina drama. This is a Dustin Poirier edit, but it's a little bit of Nina drama here for you, just to give you a taste.
Can you say the alphabet backwards?
No.
You say the alphabet backwards. Like, who the fuck cares, bro?
Can you say the alphabet backwards?
No.
Can you people up?
Yes.
In the spot, and I came with the fellas.
You see? Shine bright like a diamond, man. Shine bright like a fucking diamond. But yeah, Dricus definitely fights like a white guy dances. Dude, absolutely. Fumbling, bumbling, stumbling his way through to everything. I mean, you see that finish that he had over Izzy? Barely got that takedown, bro. I mean, come on. Like, grabbed him by the toes and pulling him by the toes. But he fucking wins. Nicest guy in the UFC. Who's the nicest guy in the UFC? Charities. Who the fuck? What? Dustin Poirier? Oh, it's Charities? Yeah. I get you. The Real Fight Foundation? No, what's it fucking called? What the fuck is it called, man? Dude, it's getting late, man. I don't know what this shit. Good Fight Foundation. Hell yeah. Not a real fight. Good fight. What we fight for. I'm a fighter. It's what I do. Now I want to fight the good fight for those who can't. I have created a platform for fellow athletes and fans to join together, fight for underserved communities, and answer the call for those who are needed. Yep. And they always do, and they're doing like it's kind of like a Walter Payton that they do in the NFL, but for the UFC now at the Hall of Fame, guys that do like the best, most charitable work. That's pretty cool. I've seen them doing that. Very good stuff there. Anyway. Anyway. Still got a couple more people in here. Anybody else want to throw some shit out there before we hop off? Questions, concerns. This is slow news week for the UFC. Remember when MVP broke that dude's skull? Hell yeah. Cyborg. That was fucking Dangerous, bro. That was awful. Was that the one that he rolled the Pokeball at him too? Am I wrong? God, dude. I literally cracked somebody's skull, just fucking caved somebody's skull in with a flying knee. Insane. MVP. That's another guy. Very explosive fighter who kind of has to take a couple seconds, wait 30 seconds, wait a minute, and then he kind of explodes into something. You never know where it's coming from. You never know the angle, but it's coming. Like something is coming from MVP at all times. Got to be careful. Got to watch out. Had Ian Gary shooting like a fucking pussy bitch in the first round. MVP is fun to watch, but like MVP and Wonder Boy and the karate style guys, like sometimes Lyoto Machida factors in here as well. Like sometimes their fights are boring as shit, and other times they're super exciting. It's just like 50-50. You gotta know what is the potential for how the fight is going to play out. Could be super boring, or it's going to be all action, super exciting, playing out on the feet, dangerous guys on the feet. But like you start mixing it up against them, they lose a little bit of that potency. Is Sean Strickland washed up? He's over the hill. I don't know if he's washed up. I don't think he's even over the hill. I think that's just Sean Strickland. I think he's not really a fucking marauder. He claims to be a marauder. That dude ain't no fucking marauder. I think he's good. I think he's got really, really solid technical, foundational, basic fighting. He's got the basics. He's got the foundations, almost like unlike anybody else. Sean Strickland got in that brawl the other day. Yeah, man. I got a video of it on the channel, bro. Go check it out. I covered it. Luis the Stash Hernandez got attacked by Sean Strickland. Dude, Sean just got to cool the fuck down. He also was talking to Patty earlier. This was funny as fuck, dude. Shout out Home of the Fight. Listen to this. This is funny.
Good, always. I haven't seen Strickland since the PI that time, and I was getting ready for the fight, so it was a lot skinnier.
You wrestled 2 hours straight yesterday. It was fucking. You're too old, dog. I never wrestled
Hanging out with Patty Pimblett there, getting a little sparring session in there.
a fight, but wrestled one. Yeah, I didn't know go with 55.
Patty Ilya, who wins? Ilya. Patty leaves his chin up there too long. I think maybe he could do a little bit better than Charles. It's good that Patty and his coaches are at least acknowledging that Charles made some stupid decisions in the fight. So maybe Ilya finishes him.
But I don't know if you counted one.
He was laughing at me saying, how the fuck do you make 55? You mean?
How the fuck? Look at how big this dude is, dude. Holy fuck. Patty Pimblett realizing Sean Strickland bought a gun to the gym. What?
That's like a gun store.
Yeah, and then fucking I got my carry gun. So I put this.
How do you got one on his
That's the Sig I showed you last night. I put this. See this?
That's like a gun store.
They said Charles' chin is worn out. Too many wars. He's taken some big shots. He's been dropped. He doesn't have a glass chin, but he's not like super durable, I would say. He gets knocked down with clean punches, and Charles is open to getting hit by clean punches. He's been in a lot of wars, yeah, but it's kind of like the Max Holloway thing. Like Max Holloway has been in a lot of wars, right? And people still say he's got one of the best chins. Ilya knocked him out, broke that chin. Charles had never been knocked out like that up to that point. I think he just broke Charles's chin. He broke Max Holloway's chin. Anyway. LOL, he's huge. Valentina, the Bullet. What, is this your favorite fucking fighter, dude? Yep, here's the incident with Sean Strickland. So he chokes out Sean Strickland's training partner, Luis the Stash Hernandez, coming up. full-time cop, fighter, everything. He's got it all going on. David Graff, Tackleberry Police Academy. So he chokes out Sean's opponent or Sean's training partner, flipping him off, stroking it in his face, and Sean walks in there. People are making fun of his walk, but he's got flip-flops on. Did he hold on too long? I don't know. Is that part of it? No, I don't think so, because the guy gets right back up. I don't think he holds on too long. Let's watch it back one more time. Or we can slow it down, actually. Nah, he's going to tap. Like, it's just all that extra shit he didn't like. Sean did not like the disrespect. Sean was disrespected, he said on Twitter. Sean said that Sean and Curtis were being disrespected, and that's why they had to jump in there and do that shit. The Brazilian specialist known for his leg. Yeah. Your point. Mike Pierce. Also, the fight with Jake Shields was rough. The referee's instructions, the incident, along with previous issues like holding submissions too long and drug suspension, led to termination. Elias Theodoro became him as his first ring. Good old Elias. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Elias. Hottest octagon girl ever. I don't know, bro. Back in the day when I was real young, bro, Brittany was doing it for me. Brooklyn Wren's got it going on, though. Edith LaBelle from Canada. All right, brother. Yeah. So Sean Strickland, he was just mad that he was disrespected. How dare a man disrespect me? You can't be disrespected. As a man, you got to fight back if you're disrespected. Dude, fuck that. That's so stupid. That's childish as shit, man. Who the fuck cares what anybody's really got to say? If he says something publicly and you have to come out and, like, counter it with your own factual information, that's one thing. But, like, has Jon Jones recovered from his Chael Sonnen toe injury? Absolutely not. Chael Sonnen, undisputed world champion. Chael Sonnen. Yeah. Pound for pound GOAT, Chael Sonnen. Jon Jones wasn't the same after that Chael fight. Absolutely not. He was scared. He was running all the time. Couldn't put pressure on that toe. He was fucked up. Ruined his entire career. Undefeated, undisputed, 51-0. Chael P. Sonnen. The biggest guns in Westland, Oregon. The American fucking gangster. Chael Sonnen is the GOAT. But you know what? Shamil Gaziev, he's coming for that title, man. He's coming for that GOAT spot. Him and Alvin Hines will challenge for that belt in 2027. Mark my words. 2032, UFC 400, Ilya Taporia's son versus Conor McGregor's son. Maybe Rush Holloway in there. Dude, we can get on into all the fucking memes here. But yeah, man. Sean Strickland. Getting it on in the cage. Trying to get some shit done. Amazing how Bisping fought with one eye in the UFC. I mean, he did for a couple of fights, too. Got that shit knocked straight out of his head, essentially. Vitor. Fucking PEDs. Bisping ducked Yoel Romero, though. I mean, kinda. He kinda did. Injuries, though. Injuries. GSP ducked Yoel. Yeah, GSP probably didn't want any of that. GSP did not want any of Yoel, let's be honest. But GSP, the Bisping performance was pretty fucking impressive, though. To come off after being off, to come back after being off for 4 years, that's pretty fucking good. Pretty impressive. And Bisping, dude, Bisping is disrespected. Dude's a fucking legend. Dude is a fucking marauder. Let's be honest. That dude was one of the OG Marauders. Bisping was fucking legit. Was he kind of a Jamal Hill, like, stand-in champion? Yeah. Yeah, kind of. But I think GSP Yoel would have been an interesting fight for sure. Yoel is just so fucking big, though. Bisping was definitely a good choice. We'll put it that way. We will just put it that way. Anyway, Full Violence says, give us these fights at the UFC White House. Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall, Kayla Harrison, Amanda Nunes. Dude, Amanda needs to happen as soon as possible. That shit, I ain't waiting until July. I don't give a fuck that much about that fight. Is Jones Gus still the best UFC fight ever? No, absolutely not. Condit Lawler, it's up there. I'll be honest, it's up there. Lawler Rory 2 was good. Van and Kopp put on an all-time classic. That was a great 3-rounder. Duho Choi, Cub Swanson was good. Covington Usman was fun. Yep. 2 guys that just canceled each other out in the wrestling. I'd rather see Cyborg versus Nunez too, or Cyborg versus Kayla. Maybe they re-sign Cyborg. I mean, she's like pushing 40 now, but maybe they re-sign her, get her back in there, have a couple fun matchups. If Amanda wins, have the Cyborg rematch. If Kayla wins, do the Cyborg fight. Gaethje Hooker. I'm not waiting that long for Gaethje Hooker. That should be soon. Sean Strickland Adesanya. Get that going in Australia. That'd be a fun headliner for a fight night in Australia. Jim is burning. Shout out, Jim. What's going on, brother? The RDR Whitaker card is better than 318. Hell yeah, it is. Hell fucking yeah, it is. But I will say 318, like the prelims, they're pretty fucking solid. You want to look at those cards? Let's take a look. Let's pull up Sherdog, get a look at these cards. Gone versus Aspinall. At the fucking White House? Hell fucking no, dude. Need some fucking Americans in there. Colby and Masvidal too. Dude, what the fuck, dude? Who's running the fucking Full Violence social media? Fucking casual ass motherfuckers. Okay. So UFC 318, UFC 318. All right. Let's find a good look at the card. Let's look at it. Where's Big Marcel when I need him? Big Marcel, brother. Jorge can't stop wrestlers. I mean, he's got good takedown defense, but no. He's not stopping the best of the best. He did not stop Colby. Did not stop Colby. All the Mexican world champions are born in the USA. Is Brandon Moreno born in America? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that. Andrew Ruiz born in the USA. That's a boxer, bro. It's a boxer. Okay. So I got UFC 318 pulled up. Let's take a look at the... Is it Abu Dhabi, Jim? Is that where it's at? Or is it Saudi Arabia? I don't remember. The DeRitter Whitaker card. Kane and... Yep, Kane was, I believe, born in the USA. Okay. Yep, Whitaker card in Abu Dhabi. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. So we have a pay-per-view coming up. And, of course, the Vettori Allen fight seems to have disappeared from the pay-per-view as a whole. But Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, that is a fucking pay-per-view headliner. If I've ever seen one that's not going to be a championship fight, that one's going to be fucking all action. It's going to be awesome. Roman Kopylov, Dan Ige, Pitbull, Vinicius Oliveira, Lokdog versus Kyler Phillips. That's a fun one. Holland, Rodriguez, that's also going to be fun. Aliskerov fell off this card. Ferreira's going to be taking on some new opponent. Gautier versus Robert Valentin. Neil Magny, Gunnar Nelson, that one's fallen off. Krut versus Praknio. Fujit versus Dulatov. And Judice and Cagliari. Yeah, Whitaker card is in Abu Dhabi. Yes, sir. Nikita Krylov is making a comeback already. He got knocked out like a month ago by Reyes. It's an insanely quick turnaround. When is he fighting? Is he fighting? No. It's not that quick of a turnaround, to be fair. Yep. There's Krylov versus Guskov. Very interesting. Very interesting. Costa's mentally washed, but physically is in good shape. Yep, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Let's pull this one back up. Holland should be fired by the UFC. Keeps losing. Nah, Holland's in there, man. He's saving fight cards left and right. I don't think they should fire him. Anyway, let's go a step further. We need to go to ESPN and see what their actual listed fight card lineup is. Holland's on a win streak at the moment. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. And he's looking good, too. He needs to stay at 170. He doesn't cut a lot of weight anyway. Stay at 170. Make a good run. He's got the tools to do it, man. He's talented. He's decently well-rounded. But, yeah, he does kind of fucking suck, too. I just think he's got, like, he's the kind of guy that's got the talent but doesn't have the work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying, Jim? I think you know what I'm saying. Like, he's got the talent, he's got the athleticism, he's got the reach, he's got the frame to be good. He's got the talent, but he's got, like, no, like, true work ethic. Like, when it's time to go and get in there and improve, Holland has Dana White privilege even though he's black. Kevin Holland is a friend of the company. Like, he'll step in and do whatever needs to be done. He is there to bolster that UFC 318 card, bro. Like, that's all he's there for. That is late notice as hell. 3 weeks notice. He could probably be top 10 for a while if he tried. He's like a Nate Diaz type. Exactly what I was thinking, brother. Exactly what I was thinking. He is. I think he's solid. I think he can be better than he is. He's disappointing to me because he does not fight up to his fullest potential. Okay. Here we go. Max Holloway. This is what it's listed as right now. Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, Danny Ige, Patricio Pitbull, Ateba Gautier versus Robert Valentin, Paulo Costa, Roman Kopylov. Derek Lewis is funny and a fun fighter like Quentin Rampage. Yeah, Derek Lewis is funny as fuck, dude. Go check out his Instagram. Michael Johnson, Daniel Sahuber, Kyler Phillips, Vinicius Oliveira, Ikram Alascara, Bruno Ferreira. That one's already fallen through. Jimmy Crute, Precnio, Fujit, Magny Gunnar Nelson. This fight night is very solid. This would be a fantastic New Orleans fight night, but they slapped a pay-per-view on it because it's Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway. This is a fucking fight night that they turned into a pay-per-view. Now, the week after is fucking loaded. Derek Lewis, UFC confirms White House fight cards planned. Conor McGregor says, count me in. Yeah. We've been over this, brother. We've been over this. Yep. They confirmed the plans, but will it come to fruition? Is it logistically possible? Can they get stands in there? Can they get an octagon? Can they vet everybody and look at everybody's background, do background checks on everybody that's going to come watch? Are they going to let them in the fence? Are they going to let them near the White House? Where's it going to be held? We don't know yet. Tough 10 heavyweight is the funniest show I've ever seen in my life. I love the original season of The Ultimate Fighter. The first season, like 1 through 3, are fucking awesome. Great television. Whitaker de Ritter is not as high level as Max and Poirier, but it's solid. It's really, really good. A top 10 matchup. Really interesting matchup. Pico Evloev's great fight. Jan McGee's a fun one. Mitchell Nurmagomedov. I mean, Bryce Mitchell's from the South, bro. Why do you not have him on the New Orleans card? He's a pretty big, popular guy. Shara Bullet versus Barriol. Krylov Guskov. That is fucking phenomenal. That is great. That is, I wouldn't. It's like, I don't know. Dana always says he wouldn't do outside events. Right, Jim, right. Is he really going to do it? Is he going to cape up to President Trump that much? I don't know. Wonder Boy's too nice of a person to be a UFC champ. He almost got there, bro. Almost got there. Tyron Woodley, that fight was pretty sick, dude. Plus, it'd suck if every American fighter lost in front of the whole White House. That's why they got to do like American versus American matchups, bro. But yeah, you look at this like Abu Dhabi fight night card, bro. What the fuck? This is fucking stacked, brother. Fucking stacked, man. Sick fight card. Sick fight card. But it's also kind of like a fight night level card with like 1 or 2 extra fights. Like the Bryce Mitchell one probably doesn't need to be there. That could be moved to 318 and bolster that a little bit. Jan McGee, like what is that doing on there? That's pay-per-view worthy. That doesn't need to be there. Dan Ige, Patricio Pitbull could and should be opening the pay-per-view at best. Vittori Allen, second at best. Roman Kopylov and Paulo Costa, that's a fun fight, but that's fucking main card opener. Ateba Gautier, Robert Valentin, that belongs nowhere near a fucking main card. Get that shit out of here. What the fuck is going on? Ateba Gautier in his second fucking UFC fight and Robert Valentin, all action fight. This one's gonna be fun. Ain't no fucking way that this deserves to be on a fucking pay-per-view. These guys have done nothing in the UFC. They're fun to watch. If you're a hardcore fan, you know who the fuck they are, but they do not deserve to be on a pay-per-view in 2025. Vittori needs to retire. Yeah, maybe so. Like, where's he going with this? He's just going to take damage over and over again. There's only one USA champion now. Yep, Kayla Harrison. That's her. Sean Brady. Sean O'Malley lost with the Trump walkout music. Yep, that was kind of embarrassing. That was kind of fucking embarrassing. Kind of embarrassing, my guys. But I will say, the UFC champions right now, the most exciting that we've ever had, arguably this lineup of champions is the most exciting that we have had. I'll stand 10 toes down on that, man. Colby losing, then Trump walking out was the most embarrassing, bro. Yes, that was fucking embarrassing. That was pretty fucking pathetic. Poor Colby. Poor Colby. What has happened to Colby, man? Colby losing, then Trump walking out. Yeah, I just read that. Lee Greenwood, God bless America. God bless USA. My bad. My bad, brother. It's not July 4th anymore. I can be wrong about these things. Red Bull. It's getting late. I'm about to turn this shit the fuck off, man. I appreciate Jim, Maverick, whoever else was in there. Who was in here? Fucking Mackenzie Hall. Shout out back in there. Dude, drop a sub. We're going to keep this thing going. Just doing this for fun. We're just chatting shit. This ain't that serious. Apparently, Aspinall is going to fight 4 times in the next 12 months, which would be amazing. Who do you think he defends against for the next 4? Oy, oy, oy. Gone. Jailton Almeida. Volkov. Some other motherfucker. I don't know. Maybe Pereira if he loses. Thoughts on MMA Guru? I like Guru. I think he provides a lot of like solid, really, really thoughtful and studied analysis. If his comedy is not your thing, if like his style of joking around and like it can be too much at times, I understand that. But anyway, MMA Guru, I like the analysis he brings. I think he's smart. Weasel, smart, but I think has some bias sometimes. MMA Joey kind of annoys me here and there, but like, you know what? He's doing his thing. A lot of his stuff is very clickbaity, but he gets conversations going, right? And Lucas, I think Lucas is the most like even killed. I think he's kind of a casual, but I think he's funny. Lorenzo Predicts is good. I haven't seen Lorenzo Predicts. I haven't seen that one, man. I'm trying to just break in here and kind of just lay it all the cards out for you guys. Like, I'm not going to be the guy that breaks down every single fight because MMA Guru does that. MMA Joey, whatever. He can fucking pretend like he knows what he's doing. No disrespect to him, but I think he does it a lot just for the clicks. DC and Chael have some fun back and forth, but like I'm not super serious with it. Usman and Triple C Pound for Pound podcast. It's fun. I give it. Listen, when I'm at work, I plug in the headphones and I listen to a lot of this stuff. But MMA Guru to me provides a lot of analysis that's like pretty deep. Like he does some deep dive on analysis. Again, some of the comedy, some of the attitude he provides is like not always the best. Luke Thomas and Brian, I think they run a good show, but I don't really like Luke Thomas because of his fucking attitude. I think he thinks that he's the smartest guy in the room. Like me, I'm as fucking humble as they come, man. I don't give a shit. You know, call me stupid, call me dumb as shit, call me a casual, whatever you want to say. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just going to do this. It's fun. I've subbed. You seem like a cool dude. Plus, it's 7 a.m. here, and you're the only guy live talking UFC, so props from the UK. Dude, shout out Jim. UK, brother. Yeah, man, I'd like to get live streaming a little earlier because I can get some of those UK fans. I know MMA Guru caters to the American audience. Dude, I want to stream as early as I fucking can, man. I'm on the I'm in the United States. It's getting late though. 7 a.m. in the UK. You staying up all night or you just waking up early, brother? But I think if you're a hardcore fan, Jim, maybe you're a hardcore fan. Maverick, maybe, if you're not a fucking bot. You listen, you get to a point where you've been watching for so long that you get to a point where like it takes a lot to like get interested in listening to somebody for a long time. Weighing in podcast, like they provide some analysis, but like it's just so repetitive and like I'm a bot from the future. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. So who's gonna win that Cyril Gahn fight? You know, that's Cyril Gahn, Tom Aspinall. Will Jon Jones, Maverick? If you're a bot from the future, will Jon Jones fight Tom Aspinall? Shit ain't happening. John's running from Tom. I gotta be honest. That's what it looks like. And if he's really gonna come back and fight, it's because he's having legal issues again, and he needs to divert all the attention away. Yeah, facts. I used to always listen to Bisping's podcast, but his takes have been so bad recently. Dude, you're from the UK. Are you a fan of MMA Guru, Jim? I'm curious. Jones is playing chess. Maybe he is, man. Maybe he is playing chess. But Bisping, like Anthony Smith, like you can enjoy their podcast, but like the problem, and this is like, I don't know. Maybe this is why I like MMA Guru more because he's just like super raw, super real. Like he faces no consequences, right? Like Anthony Smith, Bisping, DC, Chael, Josh Thompson, Big John, all these other guys, they have to face consequences. Like they have to go out into the real world like it's a real work environment and interact with all these fighters that they may or may not talk shit about. So they have to like play it nice and play it very cautious around everybody. I like MMA Guru, but he's just annoying sometimes. Yeah, I mean, sometimes he can get a bit annoying on streams anyway. His vids are solid for the most part. Yeah, I like most of his videos as well. Like I said, sometimes it just gets a little bit annoying. Like it's just not serious. Like, hell yeah, MMA Guru needs a haircut, brother. But I love when MMA Guru is doing a lot though as well. Like, I think if he ran a professional show, like Jim, if you checked out the Mighty Guru or whatever, the Demetrius Johnson thing, that where Demetrius kind of keeps him in line and kind of puts some reins on MMA Guru, that I have found is probably the most enjoyable MMA content that I've come across in like fucking 4 years, bro. Everything else is so stagnant and like very shallow. Like there's good analysis here and there. Yeah, it's a good show. They go well together. I think they pair perfectly together. I think, and that's kind of what I want to do. If I can get this going, if I can get things moving, bro, if I can get some time invested in this for real, I want to run a more professional show. Like the Morning Combat guys, again, their analysis is kind of obnoxious sometimes. And Luke Thomas, I fucking can't stand him sometimes, but like they run a tight, clean program. Like they run a real kind of like TV show, like an ESPN or a sports show out there. Like some of the soccer coverage that you guys probably see. They run a tight show where they talk about this for 15 minutes, commercial break. They come back, talk about something new. Like It's a tight, concise show. That's more what I'm trying to run so that somebody could watch this and get like all the highlights, get all the analysis they need, and just get the fuck out. They don't need all this mess, right? If you could have a podcast with one fighter, who would it be? That's a good ass question. Because there's guys that I really like and enjoy that are fun, but I kind of want somebody that's intellectual as well. Somebody that comes at it from an intellectual standpoint. It's not soccer, it's football. Mr. Beast estimated net worth is $1 billion. All right, brother. MMA Guru makes a shit ton of money though with those fucking live chats, super chats things. Jesus Christ, bro. Ilya Taporia seems like he's kind of a smart fighter. That would be an interesting podcast. NFL is handball. Maybe so, man. I think Volk would be interesting. I think somebody like Volk who just has a new age mindset when it comes to MMA. Like he started the sport late. He's become a champion. He's become one of the greatest of all time. Pantoja, same kind of thing. Like some of these guys that mix it up that are smarter fighters, those are the kind of guys that I would like to have a podcast with. Somebody that's got some smarts, some brains behind him that can talk for a while, that can just talk on his own. Because like right now, Volk, he's good, but his like vocabulary is a little weak. And again, it's getting late here, so I'm stumbling, fumbling, slurring my words here. Don't have enough water to be drinking here. Otherwise, I'd be taking a piss every 10 minutes. Drickus would be kind of fun because he just talks shit about everybody. That'd be a good podcast host. Hell yeah, dude. Drickus, maybe Ilya, Volk. I like some of the champions right now would be fun to have a podcast with, but somebody else would be like, dude, you might hate me for this, but somebody like Bryce Mitchell would be fun to do a podcast with if you kept the fucking reins on that motherfucker's mouth. Fucking retard. God damn. You remind me of a UK podcaster called F1 News, Tactical Rab. All right, brother. Yes. Formula One. Who's this Tactical Rab? Tactical Rab. YouTuber? Huh. 127,000 subscribers. Brother, I got like 10. What do you mean? I'm going to have to check his shit out now. He does kind of look like me. Bryce Mitchell's hilarious and genuinely smart, just not that school. Yeah. Like, exactly. Like I feel like he's got some wit about him. He can provide some analysis. Like he would be fun to do a podcast with. Plus he talks shit. And he's got that southern accent, man. It's just somebody's got to keep a rein on his fucking mouth, bro. Call of Duty esports news. F1 news. This looks like a fucking gamer, bro. Oh, is this the guy? Is this the same guy? So you minus the mustache. Wrong channel. He has 2 channels. All right. I got you. I found the right one. Yeah, man. This is what I'm trying to be, I guess, maybe. Let's take a listen. Let's take a watch. I got to see what you're talking about.
Alright guys, welcome back to Formula One News. An emphatic start to the Silverstone Grand Prix weekend where Lewis Hamilton is trying to find his way back to the podium to continue his streak at this legendary circuit, and a very strong start for Ferrari to this weekend so far. Yes, no new rear suspension here that we may have expected a few weeks ago.
I don't watch Formula One, but I'm trying to watch that the new Formula One movie with Brad Pitt. You guys seen that one yet? That shit looks fucking good, bro. Anyway.
But that Ferrari today looked pretty planted. Qualifying pace was strong in the simulations, and the long run data, certainly for Leclerc with the setup that he was running, looks particularly good going into the rest of the weekend. The McLarens look very strong, especially Lando Norris, and Max Verstappen furious in many respects.
I can see that. I can see what we got going here, boys. I can see it. I talk fast. Just breaking it down, keeping it short, keeping it concise. I like NASCAR, but it's just not a thing here. You like NASCAR better? Respect. All right, fair enough. I don't watch NASCAR, and I live here, bro. That's like a big thing here, and I don't watch that shit. It's like MMA. Pretty much that's exclusively it. UFC Fight Pass is my Cartoon Network, you might say. That was my shit growing up, bro. Yeah, he's got like a very yeah. I try to make shorter videos though, just like news style, just hit it, quit it, get on out of there. How long you been watching UFC? The first time that I think I ever watched, it might have been the first Fox show. But I was young, man. I was young. Yeah. It's just a family thing, man. That's what we watch, bro. Of course, it's just been in and around. You like movies? Hell yeah, I like movies, Marvel movies, DC, etc. Not so much into the superhero stuff anymore, bro. WWE, not really. I mean, I see stuff here and there because it's on the feed, it's in the algorithm. So I've been watching UFC. When was that first UFC Fox event? That might have been. That's like the first one I can remember. 2011. I think that was the first one I remember watching. But I was young, bro. I was young. I don't remember it the same way. I was too young to like really appreciate the early 2010s. Yep. Velasquez dos Santos. I believe it was this one. I remember it being cold outside. I vaguely remember the Benson Henderson fight, and Poirier was on it, and Swanson. Yep. I don't remember DeMarcus Johnson. Like, I don't remember the prelims that were on Facebook. I don't remember that shit. You know what I mean? But I do remember the main event, and I remember the Benson fight, and I remember the Poirier fight. I remember the Cub fight. Vaguely. It's just so long ago, bro. Same here. My brother got me into it around 2009. Frank Mir was my GOAT for a while. Frank Mir, fucking legend. Tap, nap, or snap, Burler. Clay Guido versus Diego Sanchez. That was fun. That was your first fight. That was a long time ago, bro. That was a great fight. Diego Sanchez was fun. Dude, Diego Sanchez, what a fucking legend, bro. Totally forgotten, though. He will be forgotten. Him on The Ultimate Fighter was awesome. He was awesome, dude. Ain't no way that's the same Michael Johnson. No, it's not. Never mind. Looking at his record. Was Gina Carano ever in the UFC? Was she in the UFC? Wait a minute. Off the top of my head, I don't think so. Damn. Nope, I didn't think so. Elite XC and then Strike Force. That Cyborg fight was big. All right. Diego Sanchez was great. I think he went on a bad loss streak toward the end of his career. Yes, he did. Frank Mir. Remember he had that crazy fucking weird ass coach, bro? That was fucking crazy. Yeah, Gina Carano did not fight in the UFC. Frank Mir had a horseshoe up his ass. Jeez, bro. Diego Sanchez, man. That guy's gotten a little crazy as well. Like BJ Penn, bro. That shit's so sad, man. So sad. What's happening to some of these guys? He's got that Michelle Pereira DQ win. That doesn't really fucking count. So, yeah, he's basically went on a 4-fight losing streak. Picked up wins over Craig White, fucking bum. Mickey Gall, fucking bum. Marcin Held is not very good. Dude, like Jim Miller was like his last good win. 2016. Brock Lesnar, I told him a year ago I pulled that shot. What the fuck? Yeah, the coach had him swinging upside down whilst he beat him. Yeah, Josh Fabia. Wonder what that dude's doing now. Joshua Fabia. I'm curious what that guy's doing now. Ain't no way this guy's Instagram. Nothing against nothing against you, bro. 2018 is his last. Dude, what is this? Does he still coach? No, dude. Dude, this is a little sus. I'm not gonna lie. Like, listen, I love everybody. But this is like really weird. This perfectly sums that up. Anyway. Here is what happens when you click on the link to his school. Nothing. So just AI bullshit. God, dude. Yuck, bro. Is he still? There's no way he's still fucking training people. There's no fucking way. He'd be in the news still. Very strange guy. He almost got into a fight with Paul Fielder in the fighter meetings. Yeah, that was really bizarre. I remember that. I remember that one. They were talking shit. He was just being weird. No gay for Jesus. No, no, no. All right, March 2024. Diego Sanchez unloads on dangerous and unstable Josh Fabio. This is the real Charlie Manson level craziness. UFC Hall of Famer Diego Sanchez says he's been fighting back after being victimized by his former coach, Josh Fabio. In an Instagram video released Friday, Sanchez accused Fabio of years of abuse, claiming the self-awareness guru made him fear for he and his family's safety as their professional personal relationship ended. Sanchez also claimed to have filed a restraining order against Fabio, whom he claimed is a trained killer, an ex-hitman, an ex-contract worker for the cartels. A search by MMA Fighting on court records in New Mexico did not reveal any such order. For the past 2 years, I've been running from a very traumatic experience, Sanchez said in the video. You know, words cannot explain how traumatizing this was. It involves a very evil man that manipulated, blackmailed, and extorted me, and eventually put an end to my UFC career. I've been dealing with this psychopath for shit. It's been 3 years, 4 years. I paid him out. I paid him money to get him out of my life because the situation becomes so volatile and so evil and dark, and there are no other options. Either he was going to kill me or I was going to have to kill him. Holy shit. I don't remember this interview or the video. What the fuck? I mean, I remember all of it at the time in like 2020, 21. Holy shit, man. I did not know. Damn, son. Damn, Diego. That is fucking awful, dude. Diego Sanchez ended his coaching relationship with Fabio in May of 2021, one month after a dramatic departure from the UFC. The Ultimate Fighter 1 winner was pulled from a fight with former teammate Donald Cerrone. That was going to be a fun one to end his career. I remember that being made, or rumored at least. The UFC career to document his long-term effects of being a UFC fighter, which prompted the promotion to require he certify that he was not suffering from any health complications, including issues with his brain. Fabio subsequently blasted Sanchez after their breakup, claiming he was taken advantage of as a coach and a business partner. Bro, it was like some cult this shit was running. Recently, Sanchez reposted a video that appears to show Fabio severing their business relationship by ordering a 6-figure payout from the former UFC fighter. Holy shit. That is fucking wild. Damn. That's pretty fucking crazy, bro. That's all in this article. Sorry I wasn't sharing my screen there. Damn. Damn, dude. Jim, I tried to do my best. I stumbled through some words, to be fair. I stumbled and fumbled a little bit there. But it's getting late. Not all of us went to high school, all right? No shame in it. Try to read better. Hey, if you read for 15 minutes a day, your vocabulary will increase if you read, your speed reading. Hey, look, man, You can become an MMA YouTuber if you learn to read, brother. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway. Yeah, I read all that shit because I'm a genius. Not really. Dude, that's fucking awful, dude. I did not know the extent of this. What a fucking weirdo. God. MMA is just such a weird fucking sport, bro. Like, these fucking creeps get in here. On a lighter note, do you think Tai Tuivasa is going to make a comeback, or will he have a 6-fight losing streak? Dude's looking fat as fuck right now. That's not good. It's like 600. It looks like he's pushing 600 pounds. Not a good look. It could easily go on a win streak. It is fucking heavyweight. It's heavyweight, bro. You never know. I don't think it's going to be good for him. Do you remember Rory McDonald? Dude, hell yeah, I fucking remember Rory McDonald. What do you fucking talk about? My favorite fight, I think, probably is Rory 2 versus Robbie because of the moments in it. Now, Robbie and Condit, that was fucking sick too, but Rory is just the one. That's the one I remember watching better. Who would you do a shoey with Ty? Yes. Outside of that, no, probably not. I don't really drink like that, bro. Tai Tuivasa. Let's see what the latest on Twitter. Nothing good. Nah, man, they spit in the shoe. Yeah, the spitting. Like, I'll drink a beer out of a shoe, but I ain't fucking getting somebody to spit in a fucking shoe. If it's your own spit, maybe, but it's like when they pass it around, they're like, hey, hey Jim, you spit in it, Maverick, you spit in it, everybody spit in it, and then I drink. Oh, fucking get the fuck out of here, brother. Tai Tuivasa, beautiful message on transgender rights. This is from 2021. What the fuck is this? Oh my word, bro. Oh my gosh, dude. Good grief. Remember when he knocked out Greg Hardy? That was awesome. Love to see that shit. That was a sad video, bro. It's funny though. It's funny though. Getting kissed straight on the mouth by some dude. Man. He's a big dude, but man, he looks rough, bro. He looks massive. Look at the size of this, bro. Look at the size of this dude. Fucking light just went out. Look at the size of this dude. Bro, what are we doing? Put down the hamburgers, brother. Put down the fucking hamburgers. Tuivasa posting about trans right. Forget it. I don't care. He loses 5 more. Sus, dude. Holy shit. It's not that serious, bro. All of a sudden, him walking out a Barbie girl makes sense. You put 2 and 2 together for yourself. USA, what happened to you? What's going on? You forget the best in the world. Name of Jesus Christ, what happened to you? Wake up, USA. Go back to where you're gone for. Go USA. All right, man. I want to say something. I try in English, so sorry if the people don't understand me. But hey, Florida, and hey, Miami, hey, Florida. Are you just quoting Yoel Romero? Bro's out here just quoting Yoel Romero. All right, respect. But yeah, Jim. Maybe that's why. No, I mean, it's I like when he walks out to those like girly pop songs. Like, they're fun. They get the crowd going because everybody knows them. Come on, we can joke about it, but like, I mean, whatever. He's trying to save face. He probably isn't a fan of them, but whatever. It is what it is. Whatever. Ty's fun to watch. I don't give a shit what you do in the privacy of your own home. I don't fucking care, bro. Yeah, I like that too, but you can't be doing that and then lose to Tybura. Yeah. Yeah. How do you fucking lose to fucking fat ass Tybura? Look at this dude, bro. He's one Big Mac away from fighting for his life. Dude, next time he gets in the octagon, like, is he going to be able to make weight? Jon Jones is gay now. According to MMA Guru, he is. I've always thought Jon Jones had kind of a feminine voice. I don't really care. Like, whatever. But like, I always thought he kind of had a little bit of a sus voice. Crazy to think he was one fight away from fighting Jon Jones for the title. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Fucking crazy. Insane the run that he was on. What was that, like 20, 21, 22? Dude. Stefan Struve, legit. Harry Hunsucker, whatever. Greg Hardy, whatever. Big name, though. Augusto Sakai was a legitimate ranked opponent. Derek Lewis, and he did have gone in trouble that one moment. And now look at him. Look at the state of this guy. Look at that 5-fight run right there. Those 5 wins in the middle there. And then, dude, he's on a 5-fight losing streak, bro. Is he going for 6? They're going to have to give him a layup, bro. Give him that Cedriques Dumas guy. He needs to fucking send him back to fucking into the fucking dirt, bro. Fuck that dude. Serial criminal, bro. Aspinall's duck and gone. I don't know, man. Guy has no motivation. Doesn't even train. I don't think so. Based on the size of the dude. I don't think he's training much. Gon ducked Aspinall like 3 separate times. So did Tuivasa. Yeah, the movie shit. Cyril Gane was shooting a movie or a TV show that's now being released on Netflix. It's in French. If you don't speak French, doesn't matter. Go check it out. Maybe it's interesting. Maybe it's good if it's about MMA. I don't know what the fuck it's about, but he's in some kind of movie or TV show. He was filming that and didn't take the fight against Tom Aspinall. And then he was offered Tom again, and he was shooting another different movie. Like, dude's trying to become a movie star. Like, that does not spell good things for Cyril Gane's career. Now Aspinall's ducking Gane. I don't know, Maverick, bro. I don't know about that. Hard to say. We never really know what's going on. Don't listen to me. Do not listen to fighters and do not listen to media outlets. Do not take it. Take everything with a grain of salt. Question everything when it comes to the media, when it comes to fighters, because they don't know shit. Like, unless it's coming from Big Marcel, it's not happening, right? Just wait it out. This comes from me, a longtime fan, longtime hardcore fan. Gane only ever wants to fight for the title, doesn't even deserve the shot after the Volkov robbery. I think Volkov won that fight as well. Now, I went and rewatched it, and it's a lot closer than I thought. I thought Volkov actually won the fight convincingly. It's not super convincing, but I fucking feel for Volkov, man. And if they're really going to throw Volkov in there against Jailton Almeida next, send a prayer up for Volkov, bro. That is tough. I only listen to Yoel Romero. Maverick, you know what? If you're only going to listen to one man, Yoel Romero's the guy to do it. Go. If you believe, go. I think Volkov could beat Almeida. I think on the feet, yeah, absolutely. It's just like he's so tall that it starts to become a problem. Go back and watch Stefan Struve, and you'll see what I mean. The height can be an advantage running up the ranks, but like once you get to good heavyweights, that height starts to become a problem. They don't move. You just don't move as fast. Think about Godzilla, okay? Right? He's huge, but he's slow as fuck. Volkov, Stefan Struve, they're very slow. The bigger you are, the slower you are. Right? That's kind of Struve was ill. Whatever. I think Volkov could beat Jelton. It's just going to be tough. The ground game of Jelton is so dominant, but Volkov is so long and he's really improving. Like he's looking really, really solid recently. The improvements he's making in the gym, like he's obviously getting better and throwing more tools into the toolbox, and he's pulling out spinning back fists and like Superman punches. Like it's fun to watch. Basketball players are super fast and huge. Yeah, but they're more athletic. Like basketball athletes, like the Maverick. You know how many people play basketball compared to how many people fucking fight for a living? You know how many people are in the NBA? You know how many people try to get into the NBA? There's only like 400 fucking basketball players in the world in the NBA. Dude, it's hard. Only so many people get into basketball. It's such a finite amount of people that try to get into the NBA actually make it and are successful. Bronny James aside, fucking Nepo baby. MMA, you can walk into a fucking gym at 22 years old and start training for a couple years and make it to the UFC. It's totally different. It's not the same. Aspinall is small for heavyweight. It's more of an advantage. I don't see why more light heavyweight. Oh, Almeida. Sorry, not Aspinall. Yeah, exactly. I think Ryan Spann, bro, that was the most disappointing shit I've ever seen. Ryan Spann moving up to take on Waldo. Waldo's a guy that I really flipped the script on. I thought that guy was going to be just this washout, super heavy-handed guy that couldn't do anything. Waldo Cortez Acosta has really grown in my heart. Like that dude, I actually respect that guy, and I'm glad that he got the win. And maybe he can jump past the Tybors and the Spivaks and all these guys and get those wins and move on past the obese guys. But Rakic is a guy that I want to see move up. Absolutely. Ryan Spann, though, that was a fucking disappointing move up. Kennedy and Nzechukwu is having a lot of success there. Walter Walker, the brother of Johnny Walker, is having a lot of success. He's not a true heavyweight, but he's moved up and he's doing really well. Jelton Almeida, same thing, has had success at heavyweight as well. Usyk is a small heavyweight boxer. I respect the fuck out of Usyk for doing what he's doing. He's taking on monsters and beating them. Ali was small for heavyweight. Well, nowadays, most heavyweight boxers back in Ali's day were all relatively Ali's size, though. George Foreman was huge, though. Pereira must be moving up. Haven't heard from his agent. Haven't heard nothing of title talks from light heavyweight. Yeah, there's rumors, of course, like Ankalaev's talking shit. Yuri's talking about coming out and fighting him. Pereira's allegedly has a fight booked or something going on, or there's a rumored fight with Pereira, but it's not Ankalaev, so we'll have to see what that is. Maybe it's that UFC Brazil fight night that they just announced. Who knows what's going on there? Dude, it's light heavyweight's a mess. Yeah, they announced an event. Maybe it's going to be Pereira in a fight night against somebody. I don't know. Who knows? But Pereira moving up would be fun. I think him and Volkov, that would be an interesting matchup as well. Gon versus Pereira. Dude. Heavyweight's looking almost more interesting than light heavyweight right now. Olberg just doesn't look as exciting at high level. Like he's a good striker, athletic, long, rangy, can pick and prod at you, but just like doesn't seem like he's got pop. Like he did knock out Alonzo Minifield, took some strikes, TKO, but like he just doesn't commit to stuff the same. Not like throwing everything into every punch. Which martial arts movie star would do best in the UFC in their prime? Martial arts movie star. Give me Jackie Chan. Not really. Jet Li. Bruce Lee would be fun just for like the spectacle of it. Jackie Chan would be fun as hell though. Jackie Chan would make it funny. Jean-Claude Van Damme. All right, respect Van Damme. Steven Seagal. Obviously. Dude, Steven Seagal taught Anderson Silva the front kick. Steven Seagal taught Alex Pereira the right hook, the left hook combo. Come on now. Light heavyweight has been a mess since Jones ducked and left the heavyweight. Heavyweight is looking promising since Jones ducked and left. If they sign Marcus Buchecha, Jim, have you seen this? The guy from One Championship, grappler, former world champion in jiu-jitsu, Marcus Buchecha. He's leaving One, and UFC's looking to sign him. That's big news, bro. That's big news. That would be interesting. But yeah, heavyweights like Taito Ivasa, Tybura Spivak, fat slobs. Don't need to see that shit. That is pathetic and embarrassing. Pathetic and embarrassing. Can you pull up his Tapology? I don't know if I know him. Marcus Buchecha. Yeah, I got you, bro. I got you. Let me get his stuff pulled up in a second. Marcus Almeida. Oh, you want to go Tapology, brother? We can do that. Jones will use Three Stooges eye pokes. Hell yeah, eye poker extraordinaire. Marcus Buchecha. If you don't know, dude is a jiu-jitsu phenom, my friend. Very dangerous on the ground. He moves quicker than Jailton Almeida on the ground, if you could believe it. He is 35 years old, though. His current win streak on 1. He beat Amir Ali Akbari in 1 championship. That was kind of lackluster. He did fight at ADX in some kind of grappling match. Obviously, multiple submissions. Kirill Grishenko is a legit fighter, though. And he beat him by heel hook. Lost to Rugru. Kind of just got out-muscled in that one. But, I mean, if he keeps developing as, like, and gets into the UFC's heavyweight division is so weak right now. Like, PFL, genuinely, a lot of their heavyweights, even though the PFL is the secondary promotion right now, the PFL guys, you look at their roster, Renan Ferreira is pretty solid. Is he going to beat the likes of a Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane? Maybe not. But he's so tall and rangy. He's got some decent power. A lot of the heavyweights in the PFL could easily come over and compete well with the UFC guys. Guys like Vadim Nemkov. If he's going to stick around at light heavyweight, I'd like to see him come to the UFC, for example. Corey Anderson can easily get back into the UFC and be ranked. But Vadim Nemkov at heavyweight, that's going to be an interesting experiment. If he comes over to the UFC in the heavyweight division, that's somebody that could make a run for Tom Aspinall. I'd give him some real prospects of beating a Tom Aspinall, but not like I would favor him. 35-year-old prospect is tough to sell. He's not really a prospect, though. I mean, he's as developed as he's going to get. You know, he's not going to get that much better. But it's heavyweight. Heavyweights have a longer lifespan, right? They're not the same as the lower level guys. They don't fight as often. Now they're susceptible to injuries, but the lower level guys are fighting much more often, taking so much more damage, having so much more output. The heavyweight guys are just not like that. Scott Coker is a movie star. Scott Coker is a movie star? He was the promoter of Bellator. Was he also Strikeforce's promoter? I think so. Cormier started at 35. Cormier did not start at 35, bro. He did not start fighting at 35. Anyway, he's not starting. He would be coming over from 1 potentially, and they'd probably try to run him up the rankings pretty quickly. Oh, you mean before? Okay. Who retired at 38? Nah, DC was he 38? No. Is DC younger than I think he is? Dude, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my fucking mind. $1979. Towelgate, Cormier. That was quite the situation. Quite the situation, my friends. Anyway, Marcus Almeida. Watch out for that guy. To be fair, Glover won the belt at 42, so anything is possible. Yeah, I mean, the bigger guys have a longer lifespan. They're not going through the same paces as the younger guys, right? They can get knocked out with 1 shot, and that's all the damage they took, and get up and go fight again. It's kind of just how it works. Anyway, yeah. Here's Buchecha. Hasn't really posted much on social media at all. Should Tailgate DC have been banned for the towel grab weight cheating? Dude, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I mean, what are we supposed to do at that point? They let it pass. It's in the pat. Like, you can't go back and change shit. Rumble died shortly after Towelgate? Not after Towelgate, bro. Rumble fought in Bellator did he fight Yag Shamuradov? I think he knocked out Yag Shamuradov, and then Rumble passed away in, was it 2022? Rest in peace, Rumble, man. Rumble was quite the legend. Joan can do steroids, but DC can't rest his arms on a towel. I say whatever. He still had to cut a lot of weight, and he barely missed. Kind of like the Charles Oliveira thing when they stripped him in the fight with Gaethje. That was kind of bullshit. If you make weight on the backroom scale, they have like 2 or 3 scales that you try each one and make sure you weigh the same, and they're supposed to be calibrated to the same weight as the one that's out in front of everybody. And you're making it on those, and then you miss on that one. Come on, man. That's awful. That is terrible. Weight cuts are done. They should get rid of them. Like one did. One did not get rid of weight cuts, bro. They just had this, like, you had to fit in this. You didn't have to cut as much weight. You only had to cut within 10 pounds of your weight division. Apparently, it's very easy to cheat their hydration test as well. I don't remember the YouTube channel, but there was a guy who broke it all down years ago. I don't quite remember. Picograms. No pulsing picograms. It's not a real thing. You had to weigh in before the fight. Oh, yeah, they were kind of moderating how much you could gain back. That's what they should do. They should have you weigh in in a couple of pound window, and then you can't balloon back up beyond this certain weight. They should do that. I think that'd probably be the way to get rid of weight cutting. You know what would be crazy, though? I had this thought the other day. Like, we've been talking about the 165-pound division in the UFC. Like, lightweight is 155, and then the jump up to 170. Cal meat in Mexico has steroids. Hell yeah. Shout out Uberim, horse meat gets it done. It's also called beef, not cow meat, brother. But if Islam wins the belt at 170, would this not be the perfect time to create and move around the divisions and create a 165-pound division? Ilya, Islam, meet in the middle at 165, something like that? That'd be fucking sick. Now's the time to do it. Pound for pound number 1 versus pound for pound number 1. I think cruiserweight would probably be better. No, dude, they do not have enough people, bro. We've been talking about this for minutes, Jim. Get your head together, brother. There are not enough fighters. The middleweight division and the light heavyweight division fucking stink, bro. The depth in those divisions is terrible. Fucking terrible. Golly. We're talking about how shit Paulo Costa is, how shit Abus Magomedov is. These guys are ranked top 15. Compare that to I don't know. Let's go down to the flyweights. Kai Asakura. Where's Charles Johnson? The guy who beat Joshua Van, who knocked out Joshua Van, is not even ranked. Meanwhile, Abus Magomedov, who gasses out after 5 minutes, is in there. Same for 165. You'd love to move 170 to 175. Dude, right, exactly. But there's so many more guys at 155 and 170 that are tweeners, like a Colby Covington. He could cut more weight than 170. Gilbert Burns, Dan Hooker, kind of a large guy, right? Comes to mind. Michael Chandler, huge, cuts a lot of weight. It would just fill in the gap. Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz, perfect example of a 165er. What is Sage Northcutt filming the new He-Man movie? He does look like He-Man. Paige Van Zandt filming the new Baywatch TV show. Interesting. But I don't think cruiserweight. I mean, it'd be fun if they had cruiserweight, but I think it'd just be spreading the heavier weight classes, which already are pretty weak, too thin. I think they could get away with 65. It'd be interesting if they added like an atom weight, like one atom weight 115. Yeah, atom weight 115. Welterweights are just lightweights that are too big and slow, but not big and powerful enough for 185. Fair enough. They're more athletic than 85ers. That's true. That's a fact. They're faster than 185ers. Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't disagree with you there. Anyway. It's getting late, boys. I think we're going to call it a night. I don't know. I picked most of the 185 top 10 to beat the 170 top 10. Really? I mean, they're bigger, obviously. That's why I would pick most of them. Let's line them up. You think Imavov beats Bilal? Maybe. I think Sean Brady beats Sean Strickland. I think Rachmanov, Hamza, that's close. Leon, that's close. Kamaru probably loses to Whitaker. Kaio probably. It's size, dude. I'm thinking about it with size though. I don't know. I picked most of 185. I just read that. Whoops. I think MVP could potentially beat Abus. I think Prates beats Paulo. I don't know about Kevin and Roman. If they met in the middle? Nah, dude. I mean, like if I'm just matching them up in my head. I think you're right, bro. Huh. Welterweight's rankings kind of suck, bro. Like outside of the young guys, all the old motherfuckers need to move out of there. I think Burns could beat Vettori low-key. Buckley would beat Delidze. Morales would beat Jared Cannonier. I think the young guys would beat all the old guys at middleweight, and all the young middleweights would beat all the old welterweights easily. That's a good point, Jim. I appreciate that. That's something to think about. 85 might be better than 170 right now. Usman keeps messing it up, not letting anyone get his spot. I don't like when guys squat on their spot. Kamaru Usman needs to fight Bilal Muhammad before he wants to even think about a title shot. I do not like that he is trying to avoid the Bilal Muhammad fight. You had beef on that podcast months ago. Make the fight happen. Squash the beef, whatever. Get it done. Bilal's trying to get back in there. Respect to Bilal. Ageism is a stereotyping. Man, shut the fuck up. They need to release that podcast too. I want to see the footage. I don't think it'll ever see the light of day, though. If it's actually like somebody got hurt, we ain't ever seeing that shit. All right, boys. This might be it. Get your last word in if you got anything for me. Woo. We got like 4 or 5 people in here still. Damn. Interesting. All right. Say your piece, fellas. God bless you. Mate, have a good one. Jim, thank you for playing along, keeping things going. I could talk for hours about MMA, but it makes it a little more fun when we got some conversation going. Anyway, if anybody's out there, no gay for Jesus. All right, brother. Maverick, shout out. Mackenzie was in here earlier. Anybody out there, like, share, some comment, subscribe, whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit. This is just for fun. You know, this is not my career. It's just for fun. We're not too serious here. We don't have egos here. We just chat shit, have a little bit of fun. That's all this fucking is. Good night, boys. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. And God bless. No gay for Jesus.